middle game of this 3-game series, and no matter what time of the year it is, a pitching matchup like this, you have to watch it. This is must-see TV, especially when you look at what Felix Hernandez has done this season against the Oakland A's. Tonight making his 6th start of the season, an ERA just barely over 2. Mike Blowers, Felix has gone deep into ball games against the A's this year. What does he have to do to continue that success?
Well, I think that he has to do what he has done, and that is stay away from the walks first and foremost. If you look at the A's, they try to get on base with the walk and then hurt you with the home run. They are 12th in hitting. Felix, the best pitcher in the American League. As long as he doesn't help them out, they're going to have a difficult time trying to hit him. And I think that what we've seen from Felix lately, and especially in the 5 starts against the A's, he's been really getting after the strike zone, especially early. He likes to throw strike one. Is one of the things I talked to Rick Waits about. He said he's been excellent at being ahead of the hitters.
Meanwhile, up on the mound tonight for the A's, it's Sonny Gray. Gray has not had a whole lot of time so far in the major leagues, but Gray, over the course of his career against the Mariners, he has been stellar. The last time out, Mike Blowers, Gray coughed up 6 runs against the Mariners. That tied him for a career high versus any team.
Well, I think that you basically have to take a pitch away from him, and I think if you're the Mariners, and one of the things that they did when they were able to beat him, you can see the 6 earned runs, as they got after his fastball early and counts. His best pitch is his curveball. Now, against Chicago in his last outing, he did not have the curve, had to go to his slider. But if they can take his fastball away and make him use something else, I think you see what the results will be, and the Mariners able to score some runs off of him.
And one thing we saw last night for the Mariners in terms of the offense, we saw the home run ball. In fact, we saw 3 solo homers. And, Blow, it sure was nice to see the long ball in play in Game 1.
And it came from the veterans last night. I think at this point in the season, you're going to see it for the veterans having to come up with some big hits. And it starts with your best. And that's Robinson Cano in the 1st inning, giving the Mariners an early lead. And then Morrison has been swinging the bat well over his last 30 games. Checks in with a home run at Morales. This is going to be a big key the last 2 weeks. Can Morales get hot? Good to see him hit the home run last night. But 3 solo home runs for the Mariners, a big difference in the game.
The Seattle City Light Power plays right there. 3 home runs. Mariners hoping for some more here tonight against Sonny Gray with King Felix up on the mound in Game 2. Night court in session here from Safeco Field. When we come back, we'll take you a spin around the wild card standings. What's the latest? We'll catch you up to speed after this quick break. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Grammy-nominated Hawaiian artist Willie K. September 27th. For tickets, just go to emeraldqueen.com. By AM PM, too much good stuff. And by Ford, we are local. Well, what's going on right now around the wild card scene? For more information on that, we check in with Angie.
All right, Aaron, thanks so much. Yesterday, the Tigers won and the Royals lost. So those two teams flip-flopped in the standings. The Tigers were in sole possession of first place in the Central for the first time since August 11th. But today is a new day, and we're getting different results already. So right now, Cleveland is close to evening up their series with the Detroit Tigers. That game in the bottom of the sixth inning, and the Cleveland Indians on top 4-3. Victor Martinez, by the way, hit his 31st home run in that one. On the other side of things, the Kansas City Royals taking on the Boston Red Sox, and right now Kansas City leads that game in the seventh inning 5-1. So if those two scores hold, then that means that the Royals and the Tigers would flip-flop again in the wild card and the Central standings. And of course, if the Mariners somehow, some way can give Felix Hernandez his 15th win of the year tonight, well, then the A's and the Mariners would flip-flop in the wild card standings. Did you get all of that? If you did, please help me out. All right, moments ago, our Dave Valley, he's used to throwing to second, but look at this. Look at this, out on the pitcher's mound today, going away from the lefties, cutting down and in on the right-handed batters, and according to the EQC Tracer, a calm, cool 59 miles per hour. Throwing a lot of batting practice this summer for the Everett Aqua Sox as their skipper, and it's paying off, Val. It's paying off. All right, game two between the Athletics and the Mariners straight ahead here on Root Sports.
Well, very happy Felix Day. It is night court in session here in front of a sellout crowd at Safeco Field. It's the middle game of this three-game series, and this is an absolutely picture-perfect night for baseball. Aaron Goldsmith alongside Mike Flowers. So glad you could be with us here tonight from a gorgeous Safeco Field. Blow, it just does not get a whole lot better than this one tonight.
I don't see how it can. You have a sellout here. Felix on the mound with what is at stake right now. 16 games to go, Aaron. This is going to be great.
Pretty exciting stuff. Glad you could be part of it tonight. Mariners and the A's. Mariners winning last night 4-2 the final. And, of course, this start one that we've all been looking forward to for an awfully long time. Felix versus Oakland. The King all ready to go, and here comes his first pitch of the night. Crisp makes contact and lines a base hit into right center field. And Coco Crisp begins things with a base knock. Mike, what does Bob Melvin's lineup look like tonight?
Well, following Coco Crisp, it will be Sam Foltz, so some speed at the top of the lineup for the Athletics this evening. Then you have Donaldson, Dunn, Brandon Moss against the Mariners this year, 236, but 4 home runs and 12 RBIs. He will hit 5th. Lowry, Reddick, Norris, and Sogard rounding out the 9 for the A's. For Felix on the air, he's out in front as far as I'm concerned for the Cy Young Award, looking for his 15th win, 2.12 ERA. 212 innings pitched, 217 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 200 against him.
Now facing Sam Fuld. Fuld was, of course, leadoff man for the Tampa Bay Rays right here at Safeco Field just a couple of years ago when Felix spun his perfecto against the Rays. So Fuld has some not so fond memories of Felix Hernandez. Crisp aboard at first base. Seager chasing, Taylor on his heels. Taylor's ball, foul ground, first out.
Routine fly out to Taylor. Take a look at the rest of the defense for the Mariners tonight. Chavez getting the start in left field. Jackson at center. James Jones starting in right. Kyle Seager is at third base. Taylor and Cano playing up the middle. Logan Morrison at first base, and Mike Zunino will do the catching tonight. Felix in his last outing pitched well again. 6 innings, 5 hits, did not give up a run through 99 pitches, had 8 strikeouts in that one. Well, 4 walks, a little bit high for Felix. Typically he doesn't walk many batters.
4 walks tied a season high. You're right.
I think it will be interesting to watch the A's. I had a conversation with Rick Waits today, and I asked him, I said, yeah, it seems to me, and maybe you'll disagree, Aaron, but it seems to me that most teams, especially lately, want to be aggressive with Felix. And I asked Rick about that, and he says, you know, it kind of goes game to game. He said, but it wouldn't be surprised if the A's, because they've had their struggles, will be aggressive, and that's what we're seeing so far in this one.
No kidding.
Chris, first pitch swinging with a base hit, second pitch to Fold, and now we see Donaldson. And he said that when Felix is going well, most clubs know that. They do not want to fall behind him, and you'll see him be aggressive. And he thinks that Felix can command the strike zone through quality strikes. That'll play into his hands as far as his pitch count goes. And that last pitch, a good pitch, right on the inside corner.
Well, the A's know all that all too well. Mike Walensky, the umpire behind home plate tonight, 2nd year in the majors, born right here in Washington. Went to UW, a communications major. Jim Wolf at first, Brian Gorman at second, David Rackley, the umpire, at third. 2 outs, Crisp at first, and another first pitch swinging, this time done. A long way back. Jackson finds it, and there's out number 3. 1/2 inning in the books. Crisp left stranded. Mariners coming up. For Felix, as Sonny Gray getting ready to go here in the bottom of the first inning, as the Mariners get ready to dig inside the box. And Mike, what's tonight's Mariners lineup look like?
Leading off, It'll be Austin Jackson tonight. Then Andy Chavez hitting second and playing left field, so Ackley getting the night off. Then it's Cano. Morales, the DH. He homered in last night's ballgame. Seager. Logan Morrison. See what he's done since July 29th. 295 average with 12 extra base hits and 13 RBIs. He also homered, gave the Mariners the lead in last night's ballgame. Zanino. Jones hitting eighth, getting the start, and Chris Taylor also getting the start. So both of these gentlemen getting their first start here in this series, rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. For Sonny Gray on the year, 13-8 record, a 3.22 ERA in 190 innings. He has 155 strikeouts, 67 walks. Opponents hitting .234 against him. He's given up 13 home runs. Good fastball, 92 to 94 miles an hour with movement. His best pitch again is his curveball. We'll mix in an occasional slider and changeup.
Faces Austin Jackson to begin the Mariners first. And starts things off with a strike. Gray, just 24 years old, from Smyrna, Tennessee. Pitched at Vanderbilt, former first-round draft pick by Oakland not long ago. Gray last year was called up near the end of the season for Oakland, just in time really for the postseason. Made his major league debut out of the bullpen for the A's before then becoming a full-time starter. That was the plan all along. 2 balls and a strike. And what a season it turned out to be for Sonny Gray as he ended up pitching in the postseason. Bob Melvin, Billy Beane went to Gray instead of Bartolo Colon in the divisional series. Colon had such a fine year. And then Sonny Gray goes from pitching in the postseason to being the A's opening day starter. So what a ride it has been for the former high school quarterback star out of small town Tennessee, not far from Nashville. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jackson, trying to snap an 0 for 10 skid. That doesn't help. Jackson caught looking, and there's the fastball, Mike, you were talking about.
Right on the outside corner, painted the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Again, he has some late movement. You'll see the Mariners give up on his fastball at times. The defense for the A's this evening: Fold in left, Coco Crisp out in center field, Reddick the right fielder, Donaldson at third, Lowry and Sogard playing up the middle, Brandon Moss. He got started last night, but he's at first base tonight, and Derek Norris will do the catching.
One out, base is empty for Andy Chavez, who finds himself batting second tonight.
See what Andy has done against the A's this year. 5 for 14. He's 2 for 5 off of Sonny Gray. Next, Chavez and Jackson at the top of the lineup today. Both of them came into the game 5 for 11 off of Sonny Gray.
We've heard Lloyd McClendon talk about bringing Chris Tenorfia over at the deadline for the Padres and how much that has made Andy really a better player, has allowed him to rest Chavez, match him up with a righty like Gray, like he's doing tonight. Andy up, 3 balls, no strikes.
And I'd have to think that that has probably been one of the challenges for Lloyd, especially over the last month or so, because Indy has played so well. It's tough not to put him in the lineup every day, but Lloyd has to pick his spots to give him his days off. No surprise that he's starting tonight. Probably gets the day game tomorrow against the lefty Lester off, so that will help. The Mariners do not have a scheduled off day as you take a look at Dustin Ackley. Probably get the next couple of days off. They're dealing with an ankle issue. That should probably help. A couple of days to rest them.
Grounder, hard hit through the right side. Chavez aboard with the 1 out. Mariners have their first base runner tonight off of Sonny Gray.
Well, Indy takes advantage of a fastball. It is right in the middle of the plate. Finds a hole on the right side of the infield. Again, Indy coming into the game was 2 for 5 off of Sonny Gray. And I think for the Mariners, they have to try to take his fastball away. When Sonny Gray is on his game, he will locate his fastball. Makes it a little more difficult because he will pitch off the corners using both sides of the plate. That pitch right down the middle, and Indy picking up a base hit.
1 out, 1 out for Cano. Strike 1. Cano was talking earlier today from inside the clubhouse about Sonny Gray. and he said his fastball will really come inside on you. And then he started talking about his curveball, and Cano's eyes got real wide, saying that that's one of the best curveballs you'll find in the American League.
Well, and I think that's why it's so important to try to get to his fastball early. You don't want to have to deal with his curveball, especially if you're behind in the count. I think both clubs are going to be aggressive. Obviously, the A's were just 5 pitches for Felix in the first inning, and I think that the Mariners will be aggressive against Sonny Gray, and I think that's the right approach to take.
We saw Cano last night hit what was his 4th opposite field homer of the season, as it came with 2 outs, just barely crept over the wall in left field. A couple of years ago, that would have banged off the manual scoreboard on top of the fence there, but not now.
Now it's a souvenir in the cantina.
That's right. Watch out. It'll get you. 2 balls and a strike to Cano. Sonny Gray, 5'11", 180 pounds. Not a big guy, but Brad Miller was saying today that even though he's under 6 feet tall, Gray really finds a way to get on top of that fastball. And for a guy sub 6 foot, has a lot of playing on it.
Well, the other thing with his fastball is, to a left-hander, he can run it away from him, and he can also cut it in on their hands.
Is 2-1. Makes it 3-1.
It's so difficult, Aaron, when you're facing a pitcher, and they say at times Sonny doesn't even know which direction it's going to go, and he just cuts it loose, and it's tough to catch him at times. And when you're a hitter and you see fastball and you read it right away, that's one thing. But to see the late movement and it's moving either into you or away from you is where you're going to have the problems. That's one of the reasons why he's so good.
He's worked on developing a changeup for situations like this, facing a dangerous lefty like Cano. Chavez at first. Just clips the corner.
A good pitch. Cano, I'm sure, looking in the middle of the plate. That pitch right on the outside corner, decided to take it.
Sellout crowd here tonight from Safeco Field, night court. This is a game that we have been looking forward to, like you have, for a long time, ever since we saw this one coming up on the schedule. Not a game the A's have been looking forward to when they see that they will be facing Felix.
Especially with the way that the A's have been playing. They've been struggling lately. Seeing Felix out there certainly doesn't help the issues that they've had.
We heard Johnny Gomes last night after the game say that he felt like he saw Chris Sale in back-to-back days. Of course, they saw Sale the final game of the series in Chicago, maybe the best lefty right now in the American League, and then facing Paxton last night, who was struggled early but then really fell into a groove.
Well, he struggled with command. His stuff was terrific the entire game, but struggled to get ahead of hitters. Once he settled in.
There goes Chavez. Little chopper. Tough play. Gray there. And an easy toss to first. Now tonight, salute to Latin American night here at Safeco Field. Marineros on the front of the Mariners uniform tops. So a special night here at Safeco Field for a couple of reasons. You might have seen earlier where Dave Valley threw out the first pitch tonight. Mike, I think it just clipped the corner. I think he just got the strike in there.
Catchers always throw the best batting practice, so I didn't see it, but I'm not surprised.
Chavez at second for Morales, as Gray starts him off with a breaking ball.
For Morales, hit his 7th home run of the year. He hit it right-handed, but he hit it out to right center field. Not an easy place, especially at night in this ballpark. So he showed some good pop. I think the Mariners would like to see him get hot hitting left-handed. Right-handed has not been an issue for him.
1-1. Well, we saw 2 opposite field homers last night, and they both off the bat just kind of had that drifting, floating effect. Now Cano's had a little bit more, but was on more of a line than Morales's was, but you could tell even Fold gave it a good chase on Kendrick's home run last night, then finally realized he's out of room.
Not much of a breeze, but it was a warm evening, just like tonight. So I imagine the ball will carry. A little bit of a breeze blowing in right now.
One thing that Sonny Gray has been so good at this year is limiting opposing cleanup hitters. Of course, Morales batting cleanup tonight. Opposing number 4 hitters off of Gray this year, only 3 extra base hits, batting 167. 2-1. There's the fastball once again from Gray. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that fastball was a mistake. He tried to go back on the outside corner, which he's had dialed in against the lefties, but you can see on our EQC tracer that fastball elevated out over the plate. That's where Kendricks likes the ball. Pretty good swing on it, but missed it. Gray's last time out was on the road in Chicago on the south side against the White Sox. He went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits. Settled for no decision. Just got a piece, but back to the glove. And with that, Gray retires the side. He strikes out 2, and he strands Chavez at second base. We're through 1 inning. Scoreless from Safeco Field. And don't miss the Lasky Bank run around the bases this season. Cheer on the Mariners tomorrow afternoon as they take on the A's at 1:10. And then following the game, cheer on your youngsters as they too take a trip around the Safeco Field Diamond for great family fun. Just pick up tickets by going to mariners.com. Brandon Moss getting set to lead things off in the top of the second for the A's. Both sides scoreless in the first inning tonight. And Mike, we saw the A's, as you were talking about while it was happening, attack Felix on the first pitch almost with every batter in that first inning. 5 pitches. Felix faced 4 men. This is a strategy that if not done right can really almost backfire against you. Well, I've said so many times, especially when you're facing one of the elite pitchers, is you basically have to decide, and it's really a collective group when they go through their scouting reports, and the Mariners have the shift on with Moss hitting right now, so Kyle Seager on the right side of the infield. But if you have to decide, do you want to take a chance or not? And so many times the pitcher will decide whether you can be aggressive or not. And I think for Felix, he came out right away. You mentioned the 5 pitches, 4 of them for strikes. And if he's in the strike zone early, it's one of the things I talked to Rick Waits about. You have to really decide on which side of that do you want to go on. Now, for Felix, quick outs are a good thing, obviously. The problem that the A's will have is if they keep doing that, he's going to be out there for 9 innings. And do you really want the best pitcher in the American League out there for 9 innings? The problem is if you try to be patient and he's throwing strikes, which he has so far, and you're consistently behind, that's when you're going to see the strikeout numbers really start to climb for Felix. So I think they've just decided they're going to take their chance on being aggressive and swing the bats, which is unusual for the A's because, again, they are 12th in the American League in hitting. But you look at them overall, they're 5th in on-base percentage, and they get there because they're number 1 in walks. So typically they're a patient club. So they're getting a little bit, I think, out of what they would normally like to do.
That's been such a calling card for them for years now. Moss sends it high on 3-1. Jackson to the warning track. Chavez there too, and Andy's got enough room to make the catch.
And Felix likes it. Andy Chavez covering some ground. Austin Jackson with the left-handed hitter was over in right center. This is a towering fly ball out to left. Tremendous power for Brandon Moss, although lately he's had a hard time hitting the ball out of the ballpark. But you can see Andy Chavez and our McDonald Supermo in the concentration. And one of the things that helps him is, I'm sure, Austin Jackson out there letting him know to make the catch. Yeah, Indy, the veteran, letting him know I can still get it.
Ball one to Lowry. One out, nobody on. Lowry's been a bit of a nemesis this year for Felix. Twice Jed Lowry has broken up a Felix perfect game in the 4th inning. Looper, shadow left field. Seager has it in the glove.
Good play by Kyle. Kyle was actually playing even with the bag at third, taking the bunt away. He probably played a little receiver in high school.
Not an easy play.
Well, he was able to get both feet in. Just catch.
Nice work by Seager. Might have a second calling. That's a lot of range. A nice concentration. Strike one to Reddick. Quickly, Felix ahead 0-2. Felix looking for his first strikeout tonight. In the first inning, he barely threw enough pitches to strike out one guy as he faced 5, make it 4 total. Now up 0-2. Strikeout number 1 tonight. And certainly plenty more to go. 10 pitches in the second, 5 pitches in the first for Felix. 15 to get the first 6 outs.
Thanks in part to this Felix Hernandez strikeout of Josh Reddick. Hi, everyone. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. Of course, the Mariners and the Oakland A's right now battling for position in the wild card standing. The Detroit Tigers, another one of those teams, trying to do so tonight. And right now they are trailing to the Cleveland Indians. That game now in the top of the 8th inning. Brantley for Cleveland with a 2-run home run. It was his 19th of the season. But you can see if this holds and the Kansas City Royals win, which they're doing right now as well, the Tigers and the Royals are going to flip-flop again in the AL Central standings. Aaron, back upstairs to you.
All right, Angie, thanks so much for the update. Boy, that American League Central is getting about as close as we are here in the West, if not more so. So here is Kyle Seager to begin things in the Mariners' second. They put the shift on for Seager. One thing Sonny Gray has done this year, maybe more than some expected, that is issue out ball 4. He is third in the American League in walks this season. 1 ball and 1 strike to Seager. And really, it's been a little bit of an up and down season as Seager needs to find a new piece of hardware. Up and down season for Sonny Gray. Twice he's been named the American League Pitcher of the Month. He's had a couple of months, however, very un-Sonny Gray-like. June an ERA just north of 5. And since August 1st, 8 starts, an ERA of about 4 3/4. So he's either been red hot or a little bit ice cold.
I don't think it's much of a surprise. Let's not forget, even though he's one of the premier pitchers in the American League, he's inexperienced and young. And I think at times, for him, there's still a learning curve that is involved. Obviously very talented, but I'm not surprised to see that little bit of a roller coaster ride for him.
Makes sense. Got off to a great start this April. Was the American League Pitcher of the Month. First month of the season, he mixed in a complete game shutout over the course of his April starts.
And then you can see Kyle, you can see why they have the shift on. 80 hits towards right field this year. Good fastball on the outside corner. Sonny has pitched well against the Mariners. Yes, they got to him in his last outing. It's 5 innings, just 6 earned runs. But the 3 previous outings, just 2 combined earned runs. That was over 20 2/3.
Skimmer foul. Nice thought there by Seager.
Against the shift. I like that. Good news for the Mariners is Sonny Gray also had to throw 21 pitches in the first inning compared to Felix, who threw just 5.
Sonny Gray has been lights out here in downtown Seattle. Tonight making his 4th start here at Safeco Field. In his previous 3, he's allowed 1 earned run over 19 2/3 innings. Full count for Seager. And he has more strikeouts than innings pitched here at Safeco Field. Nice battle here with Seager with Gray to begin the 2nd.
In the 3-2 count, he didn't want to give in to Kyle. That was the changeup, 86 miles an hour.
Now, we mentioned it earlier, but that changeup, a pitch that Gray's really worked on refining as a complimentary pitch to a lefty. Another pitch spoiled.
Another off-speed pitch, and that's one of the big differences there. And it's, when you talk about guys coming up through the minor leagues and pitching at this level, you better be able to throw some of your off-speed pitches when you're behind in the count. And Gray so far, change up and then the breaking ball to Kyle.
See what he comes with here.
Another off-speed pitch.
Fold has it in his sights. Out number 1. Seager makes Sonny Gray work for it. About a 10-pitch at bat almost. Here comes Logan Morrison. We heard Logan Morrison say last night after the game that he thought that the home run that he hit in the 5th inning was one of the biggest of his career. And he said that about a home run not long ago before that. And Logan knows very well the meaning of this series, of last night's game, of this night's game tonight. And you really get the sense as he kind of broke down his thoughts as to why last night's home run was so vital, really meaning because the game was so vital that any home run that Logan Morrison hits the rest of the way could be the biggest home run of his career with that theory. And it makes sense.
I think as close as the race is and trying to get into the wild card, that's absolutely the case. But Logan last night came up 2-2 tie, and he gets the fastball. It is up and on the inside corner, towering fly ball out to right. But that home run, a solo home run, gave the Mariners the lead. And with their pitching, that's always a good thing, especially as you get deeper into the game. That home run coming in the 5th inning. But I think, Aaron, he's quietly been on a pretty good run. We concentrate so much on the guys in the middle of the order, some of the guys at the top, or some of the young players that the Mariners have. But 295 over his last 37 games. Pretty solid.
Very solid. As they put the shift on against Morrison as well, just like they did against Seager. Gray behind of the count. And he gives 4 pitches that miss to Morrison. A 1-out 4-pitch walk. And for Sonny Gray, that's his first walk tonight. Well, in September, every game matters, as you well know, and as the Mariners continue their march towards the postseason, now is the time for you to receive priority for 2014 playoff tickets by placing a deposit on 2015 season tickets. For more information on how you can catch all the action both this year and next season, as a Mariners season ticket holder, just log on to mariners.com/15. 1 out, Morrison at first for Mike Zunino. Mariners and the A's scoreless. Right side, Sogard to snare, over to second for 1. That's all they'll get.
And you can see Lowry, he's not happy with the slide of Logan Morrison. He thought he was wide of the base, which he was, trying to break it up, but you have to be able to make contact with the base. And Lowry right now, Bob Melvin coming out of the dugout. They're going to argue with Lowry, saying that he wasn't in position. We'll take a look at it again. And I think that he has a point. They're going to. That slide is too wide right there. And I think Lowry is correct.
That's a pretty serious detour.
So now that's going to end the inning. Now they're going to say that he's out.
And here comes Lloyd. So that'll end things here the second. We go to the third. For the Oakland A's, try to get to Felix early, and so far, Mike, 15 pitches, 6 outs. Felix cruising through 2.
Just 1 base hit, and that was the first pitch of the ball game. Coco Crisp, a line drive into right center, but after that, Felix retiring the next 6 batters. Has 1 strikeout so far, but again, the Oakland A's being very aggressive with him first time through the lineup.
Felix to face Derek Norris to begin things here in the top of the third. No score. Tonight, game 2.
And I think the umpires had the call right with Logan. Logan trying to break up the double play, which is what you want to see, but a little too wide of second base. You have to be able to touch the base either with your foot or your hand, and he was wide of that, so it's an automatic double play.
Practice center. Jackson ranging back, and he's able to get there in time.
First pitch swinging again.
And here we can take a look at plays that you cannot challenge, and you can see right there in yellow, Mike, runner out of the base path, and certainly Logan Morrison was.
All those plays you cannot challenge, even though Lloyd McClendon came out of the dugout. It was a brief conversation. And here's another look. You see Lowry, he's going to go to the outside, and Logan goes after him. He is clearly wide of second base, would not have been able to touch it with his foot or his hand, and Lowry making the call right away. Veteran shortstop.
Sogard jumps on the first pitch, and it's strike one. Sogard has long played with glasses on. Says it just is better than contact lenses. Ever since his amateur days, he's been wearing glasses when he plays. He said the only time that he's really heard anything about it was one time when he was fresh in the major leagues and he reached first base and the opposing first baseman called him Harry Potter. That was the one time that he really caught some flack for it. But he said it was all good natured. Or at least that's how he made it out to be in his own head. Felix ahead 1-2. On the hunt for his second strikeout tonight. He got Reddick with a fastball to end the second. A weak little chopper. Felix, who wants it? Nobody's got it. Infield base hit for Sogard with 2 strikes against him.
We'll take a look at it. Little cue shot. It's a fastball. Two-seamer running away. Probably off the plate away. Will be an infield hit. Well, Felix first time through the lineup. 9 batters faced. 6 first pitch strikes for Felix.
Think Logan just dropped a Harry Potter right there? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Logan's good natured enough, though. When you're a first baseman, you get to know these guys pretty well.
Well, he has a beard now, so I don't think so.
He's matured.
Yes.
Quick tag. Sogard back in time. So both base hits off of Felix singles. One never left the infield. Crisp, you remember, jumped on the very first pitch of the ball game tonight and struck it well to right center for a base knock. Was never able to advance past first base. Crisp really struggling since the All-Star break, batting 192. Has been banged up a little bit with a neck injury. Missed some time. Coco Crisp now in his 5th year with the A's. Been around for a while. His 13th season overall. Won a World Series ring back in 07 with the Red Sox. Last year was really the tone setter for this A's offense. Driven right field. Jones, an adjustment, leaps, and there is out number 2.
Man, speaking of adjustments, Felix making one with Coco Crisp. We talked about him hitting the first pitch of the ball game, which was a fastball. This time Felix comes back with back-to-back changeups. There's a changeup. It's elevated a little bit. That first pitch was at the bottom of the strike zone. A good pitch from Felix, but was not able to get the call.
Two out. Sogard stays at first. It brings in Sam Fuld. Of course, we've seen Jones mostly in center field, but coming up through the minors, he's really been a corner guy. So this is a little bit more of an old home for Jones tonight in right field.
Well, he definitely has the speed to play center field. We've seen that, but he also has the arm to play right field. Has one of the better throwing arms on the team.
Sam Fuld played his college ball not far from here in Palo Alto. First pitch strike from Felix. In fact, Fuld was a college teammate at Stanford with Jed Lowry. And reunited now in the major leagues in Oakland.
Felix starting to use his changeup a little bit more, making his adjustment again with how aggressive the A's have been. That's a first pitch changeup for a strike.
Check swing, appeal, went around.
That's what makes him special. He comes back with a curveball, and with the movement he gets on his fastball, it's a plus pitch. We know about his changeup, one of the best pitches in the American League, but his curveball is also a plus pitch. Let's not forget when Felix first came to the big leagues, he was a fastball curveball pitcher, and he looks like he has a pretty good feel of that too. Quick tag by Morrison, making the play close on Sogard.
Felix in the driver's seat here, 0-2 to Fuld. Sogard to lead at first. The 0-2 pitch out.
I thought it was interesting last night, Aaron. We saw both teams try to run. Push things a little bit. I think that's really going to help the Mariners if they're able to do that. Just because the A's have had such a tough time on the defensive side of things, you can force them to make some mistakes. We saw that last night.
Trying to keep an eye on Sogard at first. Lunging forward, a weak Tapper. Taylor there. Out number 3. Felix strands a runner. We've played 2.5. Mariners and the A's scoreless.
With the Athletics, I wanted to update you on a couple of scores. Yankees were up against the Orioles, who had won 6 straight. The O's magic number is going to remain at 5. And New York beats them 3-2 the final there. And Toronto takes care of Tampa Bay. Adam Lynn ends the longest home run drought of his career with a 2-run shot in the 7th inning of that game. Show what it means, and our Delta Airlines keep climbing wild card standings. We know that the Mariners are still tied with the Kansas City Royals pending the outcome of their game. Not pictured on here, the Yankees 4.5 back, the Toronto Blue Jays 3.5 back of your Mariners. Aaron?
All right, Ange, thanks for the update. First pitch to Jones. Missing for ball 1.
I think you can see it right there, too. The A's just a half a game ahead of the Mariners right now, Aaron. And when you're a player, you like to have things in your hands, and right now, this is it for the Mariners as far as the A's go. They have tonight and tomorrow.
Jones stings it to center. Crisp nears the wall. Crisp is able to play it on a hop. As Jones burns to second, he makes the turn. James Jones is slide to third base, and he leads off the triple.
So a great start for the Mariners here in the bottom of the 3rd. And I think the A's a little bit fortunate on this play. James Jones showing some pop. Take a look at it. Long fly ball, gets on this fastball. It's up out over the plate. He takes advantage of it. Able to get on top of it enough to drive it over the head of Coco Crisp. Crisp can go get it with the best of them. But I think where they catch the break here is right here when the ball hits the wall. It actually hits Crisp. If he gets past him, maybe James Jones has a home run.
It's a good point. Right of the breadbasket there for Crisp.
And we've seen this before with Felix on the mound. The A's will bring their infield in. Nobody out.
Taylor at the plate.
Because Coco was right up against the wall, and if it gets past him, it probably bounces, I don't know, 20 feet, 25 feet away from him. That's another base for James Jones.
No doubt about it. That's a great point.
take another look at it as he goes back. He thinks he has a chance to catch it, can't quite get there, and then the ball ricochets. Looks like it hits him right in the belt buckle. And there's James diving into third. But that gets past him. By the time Reddick, the right fielder, would have gotten over there, I think he has an inside the park home run.
2-1 now. And we know Reddick's got a tremendous arm, maybe one of the best arms in the American League in right field, but still the speed of Jones.
Certainly one of the more accurate arms from right field, and he didn't hesitate. He was thinking 3 the entire way. If it gets around him, by him, I think that he scores.
Well, that's Rich Donnelly tomorrow. He had a pretty good view of the whole thing.
Oh, he was ready to wave them home, I think.
2 balls and a strike to Taylor. Jones dancing around at third.
And we've talked about it with James Jones, his ability to steal bases, but tremendous speed, long strider. You can see how easy it is for him to cut the corner of the base. Is just perfect, hitting the inside part of the base, pushing off. Tremendous speed. Not going to take much of a fly ball to score him.
Big RBI spot here for Taylor. Up the middle, Mariners lead it 1-0. Huge run with Felix on the mound. Sellout crowd tonight. Chris Taylor gives the Mariners the lead on top of the A's.
It's amazing how this game works sometimes. You get down to you only have 16 games left, 2 games remaining with the A's. So many times you get into this type of pitching matchup and you would look at your veterans, Cano, Morales, Seager, Morrison, guys like that. It's the 2 rookies, James Jones with the triple, and now Chris Taylor with a base hit back up the middle, gets a fastball out over the plate. And with the drawn infield, it's an easy base hit for him. Jones can just walk home. But the 2 rookies at the bottom of the lineup giving Felix an early lead.
When you think about it, Mike, last night in a close ball game, we saw Carson Smith come out. And Lloyd McClendon was not afraid at all to put Carson Smith out there in the bright lights of a huge game. And as you mentioned, here you've got one rookie driving and the other. Taylor has played in less than 35 major league games, and he gets the start tonight.
Well, I think the thing last night for me with Carson Smith out there, it's one thing to bring him in and have him pitch an inning, but he sent him right back out there. That's how electric his stuff was. And I think the other thing, and I listened to Lloyd's comment after the game, which is absolutely the truth when you watch Carson pitch. He not only throws 95 with an electric slider, but he's down. And he likes the fact that he'll keep the ball on the ground. He didn't feel that he was going to get hurt. It was they were going to have to put some hits together to get to him.
Keeping an eye on Taylor. Ball bobbled there. Mott's able to recover.
Of course, we saw that earlier in the year with Dominic Leone, but that's earlier in the year. This is everything's on the line right now.
This is prime time.
Right.
Big time. We heard Lloyd say today, he said, I only planned on sitting him out there for 1 inning, but he got the first 3 outs too easy. I had to send him back out there again. It's not like Lloyd doesn't have options right now with the bullpen.
Guys have a tough time finding a place to sit out there. A lot of bodies.
Outside corner to make it 1-1. Sonny Gray slowing down a little bit with a runner at first. Chopper up the middle. Sogard there. Step on second. Double play. Well, time now for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. As we take a look at Indy Chavez, some career numbers there against the Oakland A's. Not too bad, Mike.
Pretty good company, too. Victor Martinez at the top, and then it's Indy Chavez, Altuve. See what he has done. Miguel Cabrera, and, of course, Ichiro. Some great company. It's a minimum of 120 plate appearances. He's done some damage against the A's. Already with a base hit in this one tonight.
Chavez singled back up the middle of the first. Now, speaking of history with Indy Chavez, Indy, the former Montreal Expo, and he will go down to the Expo's history books. He was the last man in the history of that franchise to have an at-bat. He was the last man in the batter's box for the Expos. That came back in 2004. Final season for Montreal. Broken down, a 1-hopper to Lowry. And that ends the third inning. Mariners get a run, though. Chris Taylor with an RBI single with the infield drawn in after the Jones triple through 3. The Mariners have the lead.
Hernandez on the mound tonight, so we head to the top of the fourth. This might be my favorite ever. I like this night court thing, and not just because Black is slimming. Hi everyone, Angie Mentink here. An update on what's going on in the wild card standings right now. The Kansas City Royals, or should I say the Central standings, because it really kind of depends on the day. Right now, the Kansas City Royals, their game with the Boston Red Sox just gone final, 7-1. The Tigers still losing, so of course these two teams getting ready to flip-flop if things hold at the top of the Central, and of course then the Mariners would be chasing a different team in the wild card as well. Aaron, back upstairs to you.
Angie, thank you. A lot to keep up with these days. Felix facing Josh Donaldson to begin the top of the fourth. Mariners now in the lead. Donaldson jumping on the first pitch. Strike one. Donaldson last night came up with an RBI single in the third, and that set a new single season RBI mark for him on the course of his pretty young major league career. Now with 94 runs batted in this season, the most he's had in a single year. Chance to get to 100 this year for sure. Hard hit grounder. A skip there to Taylor. 2 pitches and the first out here in the fourth inning. We'll stick around after the game for Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines. Get you caught up on what happened here tonight. Mariners and the A's, middle game of the series after the Mariners won last night 4-2. They lead 1-0 with one out here in the fourth.
Adam Dunn will step in. The Mariners will put the shift on with Dunn. Kyle Seager, one of the few third basemen that consistently goes to the right side of the infield. Of course, Kyle came up as a second baseman, so it's not that big a deal for him. And the good news for the Mariners is when they put the shift on, you can leave your shortstop on the left side. And since he's over there, probably a little more range, leave the shortstop on the left side. It's an advantage. Kyle can also turn the double play, so they can just leave him over there. You can see the shift, how deep out into right field Cano is. Morrison right on the line. Pretty good breaking ball. Felix wanted to call in the outside corner. There you go. 40 hits out to right field. That's why they have the shift on. 29 towards center.
2-0 to Dunn.
Great changeup from Felix. One of the things I was talking to Rick Waits about, I said, if they are aggressive, what do you do as a pitcher? And he said, well, the key is to throw quality strikes early in the count, which Felix has done. And he said, and then you have to have the ability to mix in your off-speed pitches, and Felix is doing that now. Seeing more curveball changeups early in the count. And there's another breaking ball from him. So he basically is telling him, go ahead and be aggressive. I'll just go to another one of my pitches that's plus and try to deal with that one for a while.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Felix looking for his second strikeout. Dunn stays alive, still 2-2.
That was a good fastball in the outside corner, so Pitching backwards now, some changeups and curveballs to get ahead of him. He goes with the fastball when he gets 2 strikes.
And Mike, what do you mean by that, pitching backwards?
Well, basically, most pitchers will try to use their fastball early to get ahead of you and then try to put you away with their breaking ball, or for in Felix's case, his changeup. There's a hard curveball in the dirt. The really good pitchers, and the ones at this level especially, they can switch up on you. They can use their off-speed pitches early in the count, and then they'll try to surprise you with a fastball. Not many pitchers have the ability to do that because they don't command their off-speed pitches as well as they do their fastball. They'd rather try to locate a fastball. In other words, Felix doesn't have to do that. Makes him dangerous, and there's another good changeup after the fastball. So when you're a hitter, you try to eliminate pitches. You know that Felix has the fastball. You know about his great changeup and the curveball and the slider, and you try to eliminate those pitches. One, by either trying to take one away because you're going to sit on it and swing at it, or two, you take a look at it and go, well, he doesn't really have a slider today. I don't have to worry about that. That's rare when Felix is on the mound. It makes it even tougher as a hitter.
3-2 to Dunn, and he freezes up. Just absolutely freezes Dunn with the curve, and there's strikeout number 2 tonight for Felix.
And this is a great example of it. Being able to throw all your pitches for strikes, and Dunn is up there, and with 2 strikes, he doesn't know what is coming. And when you have plus pitches, this is a good curveball right on the outside corner. You look at our McDonald's Supermo, and you can see the spin of it. And the Zanito, of course, framing it.
A couple of K cards making a cameo tonight. The look on Dunn's face was priceless right there, and it looks even better in Supermo. Ball 1 to Moss. Dunn trying to make it to the postseason with the A's. Coming over not long ago. Felix has sat down the first 2 here in the 4th. Hard hit skipper, and Moss is aboard. He's 1 for 2 now. He's hit the ball hard twice. Well, time now for our Century Link. Link to what's next is another tremendous pitching matchup tomorrow afternoon right here from Safeco Field.
Well, one of the best left-handers in the game, John Lester, going. Then, of course, Chris Young. What a year he's had. He's looking for his 13th win. And he has really pitched well here at Safeco Field, so that'll be a great matchup again tomorrow. It's been a tough series. It's going to continue for the hitters on both sides.
Lester fortunate that he's not matching up with Felix like he did his last start against the Mariners. That was back in the Coliseum. And steps Jed Lowry. Lester had a great quote after that game. He said normally you give up a couple of solo home runs, which he did back-to-back against the Mariners. Seager and then Corey Hart. He said normally you won't lose a ball game, but you do when you face Felix on the other side.
Especially when you're having the type of year he's having against the A's. Again, in 5 starts, the Mariners are 5-0 on all 5 of those starts. This is the 6th start of the year for Felix against the A's.
Pop foul, Seager on the chase. A couple of rows deep.
And it's interesting, you sit here and you're a half game back right now. You never know how these things are going to work out. But Felix now making his 6th start against the A's. That's not an accident. It didn't just work out that way. Lloyd McClendon planned it to get his best out there as much as he could against the A's, because Felix has had a lot of success, and he's also the best in the business. And now, how important is it today when you have a chance to get out in front of the A's with a win?
Secure a series win, set up a chance for a sweep tomorrow with Young going. 2 balls and a strike to Lowry. Lowry from Salem, Oregon. Played his high school ball at North Salem High School. As you take a look at Chris Young. Two outs, Moss at first. Felix recovers it. Long ski ball toss, and that'll do it for the A's in the top of the 4th. Moss left stranded at first. They go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mariners on top by a run.
We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. Angie Mentink with you here at the Ford Sports Desk. And I think the Tigers were scoreboard watching because they saw the Kansas City Royals won. They had to win as well if they wanted to maintain first place in the AL Central. What happens in the bottom of the 8th inning? Alex Avila hits a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 8th, and the Tigers retake the lead against the Cleveland Indians. That game in the top of the 9th. 7, 8, 9 coming to bat for the Cleveland Indians. But again, if this holds, guys, then the Tigers will remain in first place in the Central. Those two teams will not flip-flop. Aaron?
All right, Angie, thank you there. So Avila and Victor Martinez both homering tonight for the Tigers. You heard Angie say earlier, Michael Brantley went deep tonight for the Indians for the 19th time. Tigers sole possession of first place in the Central for the first time in over a month with their win last night, trying to hold on to it. Here is Robinson Cano to begin the bottom of the 4th. Goes after the first pitch, an easy roller to Sogard. Gray covers, 1 out, 1 pitch. Sonny Gray now faces Kendrys Morales for the second time. He struck Morales out on a curveball to end the first inning. And Mike, with Morales, we have seen it come in spurts, in bits and pieces, and you know that at any moment, if he heats up and stays hot over the final few weeks of the season, how much that dramatically changes this lineup on a daily basis.
Well, you think about it, you have Cano hitting third in your lineup, one of the best hitters in the American League. Morales hitting fourth for the most part, and you're waiting on what you're talking about. And you have Seager leading your club in home runs and RBIs. And we talked about Morrison hitting .295 over his last 37 games, and now starting to hit some home runs. He's hit home runs in 2 of the last 3. So if you get Morales going, it changes your lineup completely. I know that Lloyd has talked about the presence he has in there, and there is something to be said for that, but eventually you need the production. So it was good to see him hit the home run last night. But if he can get hot, and I've said this before about him, forget about everything that's happened up to this point. He can change all of that over the next 2 weeks by having just a good 2 weeks, solid 2 weeks for the Mariners, driving in runs and hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
That'd be huge. He's ahead of the count to Gray. The 3-0. 4-pitch walk with 1 out. Gray's second walk tonight. He walked Morrison on 4 pitches earlier. Well, when you bring the whole family to Safeco Field, make sure to visit the Moose Den presented by Seattle Children's. There you'll be able to meet the Mariner Moose throughout the game and get a picture with the best mascot in baseball. 1 out base runner for the Mariners. Brings in Kyle Seager. Lloyd talked about this a little bit yesterday. We have seen Seager hit cleanup really a fair amount of times this year, and when that happens, Morales bats fit. But Lloyd doesn't necessarily really like the lefty-lefty with Cano and Seager back-to-back. Likes to mix it up with the switch.
It makes it too easy for the opposing manager to use his bullpen. When you do that, he can save his quality left-hander. In most clubs, they have a few lefties, but one that his sole job is to get the left-handers out, and you want to make him pay if he's deciding to leave him in there. And the good news for the Mariners is Morales has been swinging the bat well from the right side of the plate. So maybe you can make him make the change, and then of course Kyle would get the right-handed reliever coming in if the manager chooses to change to the righty after the lefty's in there to face Cano.
Top to first, Moss to second. Gray at first base, the double play. That's perfectly executed by the A's. And it gets Sonny Gray out of the 4th inning. We go to the 5th. Mariners lead 1-0. Link, your link to what's next. Stand by Jack in the Box right now with Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. Absolutely beautiful day out in Bremerton. Just old enough to pilot that boat right there. Just got its license yesterday. And today, this has really been just an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Seattle area. And it doesn't get much better after some fine weather out and about on the lake this afternoon, then coming to Safeco Field with your closest 46,000 friends. Sellout crowd tonight. Night court in session. And Felix holding the A's scoreless so far over the first 4 innings. Reddick at the plate to begin the 5th for the A's.
And so far, Felix in great shape with his pitch count through the first 4 innings. Just 42 pitches for Felix. 42 pitches, 28 strikes.
Hard hit one skipper, gobbled up there by Morrison. 1 out.
Good play. And the left-hander Reddick hit it down at you. It's going to have a little bit of hook to it, and because of that, there's going to be a tremendous amount of topspin on it. And Morrison basically puts his body in front of it, but is able to glove it cleanly. Ball was hit hard. Good look at our McDonald Supermo as this ball will come up on Logan. He stays with it. Good play.
Morrison has said he really genuinely enjoys playing first base. This is the first time in his career he's been in the American League and has a chance to fit that profile as somebody to DH. And we've seen Logan DH a number of times this year, but he really likes being out there defensively as well. In steps Norris. Norris has cut that beard back a little bit in recent weeks. Over the last month or so, he had that Oakland caveman look going for a while. Grew it out all offseason, he said. One ball and 1 strike. Norris an all-star for the first time this year. Right over from Washington and Gio Gonzalez deal a number of years ago. The A's had an absolute surplus of catchers at one point this year. And that stash of backstops has been cut into with injuries. Stephen Vogt's banged up with an ankle. John Jaso, his second concussion in as many years. We saw Soto last night get the start after being acquired from Texas. Back spasms. So Norris, one of the few left. Ball and 2 strikes. Felix comes home, and it's just low.
Missed with the changeup, but always a good sign for Felix. You look at our EQC tracer, that pitch down. Typically, he wants to throw the changeup in the dirt, especially when he has 2 strikes on the hitter, get him to chase it.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Felix burns it right past him. And that is the Kings' 3rd strikeout tonight.
Well, after the changeup, he comes right back with a good fastball at 91 miles an hour. Some late movement on it. And again, right at the bottom of the strike zone. It's actually a changeup at 91 miles an hour.
That's saying something, even for Felix.
That's that is tough.
Can you burn a changeup past somebody, Mike? If you're Felix, I suppose you can.
I suppose you can at 91 miles an hour.
1-0 to Sogard.
One of the great things with that our McDonald Supermo is you can really slow things down, and that was the changeup again. You could see the grip on it and then the action of it. 51 pitches for Felix, 33 strikes.
Chris Archer, a young starting pitcher for the Rays, saw Felix when Felix had his 15 strikeout performance earlier this year in St. Pete, and he said one thing he learned watching Felix is that changeup can actually be a power pitch. He said
I think it definitely is.
And then he said that the concept of a changeup being a power pitch is something that you just don't hear people talking about, but then you watch Felix.
Well, you don't know what else to call it. The reason why it's a changeup is because he has a circle change grip on it, but it's a changeup like nobody else's. It really reacts more like a split.
3 balls and a strike now to Sogard. Just a one-run lead for the Mariners. The RBI came from Chris Taylor back in the third after a Jones triple. Morrison tries the pick, tracks it down. Felix to the bag, throw. Sogard safe.
Be a base hit. We saw a similar play to start the inning off the bat of Reddick, and he was able to get in front of it. This one more towards the line, so he tries to backhand it. Anytime you hit it off the end of the bat like that, again, it's going to have a lot of top spin. It comes up on him. It's right off the end of his glove. Tried to stay with it. Unfortunately, too far away from him. I always worry about a play like that, especially with Felix covering. You worry about his ankles getting tangled up with the runner, but he looks like he's fine.
Now Sogard going max effort there to get to first base. He now represents the tying run. 2 outs for Crisp, his third time up. Coco tonight has singled on the first pitch of the ball game, then a stiff fly ball out to right field in the third, where Jones tracked it down, had to leave his feet, skip up in the air to make the catch. Strike one. Things getting awfully tense for the A's these days. Go back to August 10th, a 4-game lead over the Angels in the West, baseball's best record. They were up by nearly 10 games on Kansas City. They were up by 11 games on the Mariners, and things quickly falling right through their fingertips.
Trouble.
Chavez able to make the catch. And he gets there just in time. Sogard stranded at first after the infield single. Felix has got 5 scoreless against the A's. No surprise.
One nothing, and we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hi, everyone. Angie Mentink here. Now, in our last update, we let you know that the Tigers had taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Now they just had to hold on in the 9th against the Cleveland Indians. And sometimes that's hard to do. Joe Nathan, their closer, actually does allow a walk. The runner gets in scoring position. David Murphy comes into pinch hit, hitting .376 with runners in scoring position, but he flies out to left field. Detroit wins 5-4. So what it means, they lead the AL Central by a half a game, and so the Mariners still trying to catch the Kansas City Royals. Right now they look like they're on the outside looking in, but again, all the Mariners have to do is beat the Athletics tonight, and they will hold on to that second wild card spot. Aaron.
Good to know there. Thank you, Angie. First pitch to Logan Morrison with the shift on. Ball 1 to Lomo. Felix tonight, 5 scoreless, only 56 pitches over the first 5 innings against the A's.
Well, I would say that so far the aggressive game plan for the A's is not working out too well for him.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
5 pitches for Felix in the first, 10 pitches in the second. Only 15 pitches.
And again, he had to change up. He came out throwing fastballs early on, wanting to get the A's to start swinging the bats. They were certainly doing that 5 pitches in the first. And now you can see more breaking balls and changeups early in the count. But the key to all of it is you have to be able to throw those pitches for strikes, and Felix has done that tonight.
You know, his last start against the A's, 8 innings, 1 run, and he struck out 4. He struck out 3 tonight. So not a ton of punch outs as Morrison whiffs. And a throw goes down to first base to complete things. Now, we told you at times tonight about how things are really going on a downhill angle for the A's. And Mike, they are desperately trying to pull up.
Well, Mariners have already wrapped up the season series with their 10 wins, trying to make it 11 tonight. But yeah, they have really struggled in large part on the offense. The A's offense has not done much. And tough. You see Paxton last night, then you come right back with Felix tonight. Before Paxton, it was Chris Sale. That's tough on any offense.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunate scheduling for their sake. Gray snaps in a first pitch curve for a strike. Inside of the A's clubhouse here at Safeco Field, they have an enormous stuffed bear, almost like one that you would win at a carnival. And written on their whiteboard, it says "Bear down." They are desperately trying to do just that here in Seattle. Jeff Samardzija coming over from the Cubs a couple of weeks before the deadline. Dunn coming over in a trade with the White Sox. Both of those two looking to find postseason play. Zunino out to Lowry. 2 down. Well, join us at Safeco Field Friday, September 26th for Fan Appreciation Night, when we'll say thanks by giving away a vacation every inning. You can enjoy round-trip airfare on Alaska Airlines, a Holland America cruise, or a giveaway package to Mariners spring training next year. Take a trip to mariners.com/fan to get tickets, and you could be the lucky winner that will be taking home a trip for yourself. 2 up, 2 down by Sonny Gray, now facing James Jones. 1-0 Mariners on the RBI base hit by Taylor after the James Jones triple. Jones was a huge King Griffey Jr. fan growing up in Brooklyn. His all-time favorite, he said. Fold has plenty of time to get there, and that completes the 5th inning. Sonny Gray retires his side in order in each of the last 2 innings, and 3 times over the first 5. We go to the 6th, 1-0 Mariners. Night court here at Safeco Field. The Felix has been doing Felix things, Mike. 56 pitches over the first 5 scoreless innings.
Oh, he's been outstanding so far and efficient. That's what you wanted to see from Felix. And again, we were talking about the start of the game and the approach of the A's, and they've continued to stay aggressive with him. I think his ability to switch up is one of the reasons why he's so great, along with the pitches that he has. So this is something, again, that Rick Waits was talking to me about early today when I was sitting in the dugout having a conversation with him about it. And he said, you know, you have to be able to have the ability. And he feels, even though all the pitchers, all the starters are different with the Mariners, they should all have the ability to do that. And he said, obviously, Felix, one of the best in the business at it.
Facing Sam Fuld to begin the top of the 6th. Fuld 0 for 2 tonight. Quickly behind, 0-2. Felix 3 strikeouts tonight. He's up on Fuld 0-2. Here's the pitch. Ball and 2 strikes to Fuld. The left fielder for the A's batting second tonight. Fuld from Durham, New Hampshire. Went to Exeter Academy there, very prestigious high school. Went there at the same time as Mark Zuckerberg. The 1-2, and it's clocked foul.
One of the few changeups that Felix has left up in the zone.
Now you're right, he's buried that all night. Even the one at 91 miles an hour.
Even the one at 91, you can see on our EQC tracer the location of that last pitch.
Felix trying to finish him off, and he does. Well, speaking of strikeouts, we take a look now at our Geico this date in history. We go way back to 1936. Bob Feller, the A's, well, they were once in Philadelphia. 17 punch-outs. American League record, that is a heck of a day.
17 years old.
How about that? That's not bad at all.
No, that's terrific.
Donaldson digs in. So Felix has struck out 4. He has allowed 4 hits as well. Hammered left field, trouble. Chavez watches this by the bullpen. We're tied. That ball got small in a hurry. Donaldson's 27th of the season, and we are right back where we started.
Well, it's not unusual for Felix to throw his changeup inside to right-handers, but typically he'll try to bury it on their back foot. This one again stays up. It's on the corner. He gets it to the corner, but Donaldson able to cut it off at the pass and lines it out into the bullpen of the Athletics. His 27th home run on the year. Aaron's put the shift on with Dunn hitting.
Two balls and no strikes to Dunn. Dunn now in his 14th season in the majors. He's played in nearly 2,000 big league games. He has never once played an inning in the postseason. Among all active players in baseball, he has played in the most games without ever playing in October. Dunn pops it up with the shift on. Not a lot of room there. Not a lot of bodies there. That is. Zunino can't get it on the slide. And Dunn survives. He normally would have been out, but instead it's 2-1.
We'll take a look at it with the shift on. Chris Taylor, the shortstop, probably had the best chance. Zunino gives it a good effort. But again, he was playing towards the middle of the diamond. Long run for him. Well, that's, I think, probably the biggest reason why Dunn okayed the trade for him to come over to the A's, just to give himself an opportunity to try to get into the postseason. In fact, he was even talking about possibly retiring at the end of the year.
3 balls and a strike. There's no doubt about it. When you think about it, Dunn has pitched more innings than he has played innings in the postseason, as he had 1 inning on the mound earlier this year against the White Sox, or pardon me, against the Rangers in mop-up time. Right into the teeth of the shift. Cano, the long throw, out number 2. Well, a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 2 outs, nobody on for Moss. Josh Donaldson has tied this game up with a missile homer out to left field.
And the Mariners will keep the shift on with Moss hitting.
When Felix is pitching like he was or has been tonight, a 1-0 lead, it can fool you into thinking that it's much greater than it is.
No, you're absolutely right. But that's the difference. One swing of the bat can get you a tie ball game. I think that probably, and I think it's especially true tonight, an easier thing for the Athletics than to try to bunch 3 hits together or to take advantage of a walk, because then you have to get a couple of hits. And every now and then you can walk into one, and for Felix, he just didn't get away with a mistake that was a changeup up.
1-2.
The good news is where his pitch count is at 71 pitches. He can stay out there for all 9. At least it looks that way. So it gives the Mariners plenty of opportunity to try to get that run back.
Mariners will have 9-1-2 when we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Felix's 1-2 pitch makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you think about it, some credit to Donaldson. Felix makes how many mistakes tonight? Hardly any.
Hardly any.
And to have a guy like Donaldson at the plate at that time, ready to pull the trigger and jump on it. He's their best hitter for a reason.
Well, we also thought with this pitching matchup it was going to be this type of game. Let's not forget about the job that Sonny Gray has done tonight. Yeah. I mean, we're going to go in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Chris Taylor is only going to be a 2nd plate appearance. So Sonny Gray has also been pretty good. He got the leadoff triple by James Jones and was driven in by Taylor, but that's pretty much been it.
Payoff pitch, check swing, appeal, and he goes around. It gets the point from Mike Walensky. Felix's 5th strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, all tied at 1.
And that's impressive because he never hit a home run against Felix Hernandez and was batting just a $167 against him coming into this game. All right, right now it is time for our AT&T fan photos of the game, and I promise that I am not playing favorites with this one. It's from Mark Root. Really, his last name is Root. Root family checking in for the night court. Remember to tweet your photos to #MarinersFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. Very cute, Mark. Back to you, Aaron.
Thank you, Angie. Josh Donaldson leveling the score here tonight as Chris Taylor begins things in the bottom of the 6th inning, facing Sonny Gray. Taylor going after the first pitch at strike 1. A's have lost their last 3 ball games. They've dropped 12 of their last 15. And they have really made a living as of late in close ones. 11 of their last 13 games they've lost by 2 runs or fewer. Quickly 0-2 to Taylor. Looked like that time the changeup from Gray.
He's been able to mix in all of his pitches. If you look at the Mariners with their 1 run, only have 3 hits. Fortunately, it was the triple and then the base hit by Taylor. So 3 hits, 2 of them back to back, get the 1 run for him. There's a good curveball on the outside corner.
3 pitches, all strikes, and Taylor out number 1. Well, this Friday we have another high school football game of the week presented by Papa Murphy's. Tune in to see the Skyline Spartans kick off against the Mount Si Wildcats at 8:30 p.m. Pacific. Don't miss your favorite local teams in action this season on Root Sports. 1 out, bases clean for Austin Jackson. All even at 1 apiece. Jackson showing bunt and takes a strike. Jackson in the midst of an 0 for 12 drought with 8 strikeouts along the way. This was something that we knew about Jackson as a leadoff man. Strikes out a little bit more than maybe others. But he's had some nice moments offensively for the Mariners since coming over at the deadline. And how about that, Mike? As the Mariners now going neck and neck at times with the Tigers in the wild card race, and the Mariners have their center fielder.
I think the Tigers would probably like to have him back, to be honest with you. Too late.
No redos. To right field. Reddick on the chase, and it's a foul ball. And he has really helped to solidify the top 3 in the order. Ackley out tonight. Lloyd saying earlier today that that left foot a little bit sore after coming back and playing last night, recovering from some bone spurs. Something he'll have to manage the rest of the season, it seems like.
And was probably going to get tomorrow afternoon off with Lester on the mound, so it gives him a couple of days.
Lester, one of the toughest lefties in the league. 2-2 to Jackson, looking for his first hit tonight. 1 out. Strike 3. 94 that time from Sonny Gray. He strikes out the first 2 men to begin things here in the 6th inning. Let's take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA. As you can see, the Mariners hitting the road, and they'll be on the road for a long time. What a way to end the season for the Mariners. And a lot of games too, Mike, the rest of the way against the best team in baseball, and the Angels. That doesn't make things easy either.
Well, that's tough. We knew that when we saw it back in March.
2 outs, the pitch to Chavez. Mariners really trying to disrupt Sonny Gray now, who has been cruising. He hasn't allowed a hit since that single.
And early on, it looked as if the Mariners were going to be able to get into the bullpen and run him because his pitch count was up. But he's right there with Felix now, so he's in good shape with his pitch count.
The run that Sonny Gray gave up in the 3rd, the RBI single to Taylor with Jones at 3rd base and the infield in, that matched the amount of runs that he'd allowed over the first 3 starts of his career at Safeco Field, to tell you how good he's been at this ballpark. Gray just recently faced the Mariners in Oakland. Mariners got to him for 6 runs. That tied a career high in runs allowed in a single game for Gray, but the Mariners have not been quite as fortunate, at least so far tonight. Chavez back on his heels, 1-2. A flick to shallow left. Lowry, Fold, and it's Fold who has it. Sonny Gray really has settled into a groove. He has retired the side in order in each of the last 3 innings. It's on to the 7th. Mariners and the A's tied at 1. Tonight, 5 strikeouts over the first 6 innings, and the only mistake he's made, the changeup that missed up and in, that, well, Josh Donaldson made him pay for.
He has been really good tonight, as you would expect. He's dominated the A's this year. And here you go. Take a look at the comparison between the 2 pitchers. Phillies giving up 2 more hits. Gray has walked a couple of batters, but their pitch count's in line right now.
Look at that. That's a carbon copy right there. We mentioned this earlier. Any night of the year, Felix versus Sonny Gray, that's a game you want to watch. But right now, this state in the calendar, with both these teams trying to get where they're trying to go, this is an absolutely huge game for both sides. As Lowry goes after the first pitch and swats it foul. Lowry, a switch hitter, did not start switch hitting in games until he was in high school. In fact, the first hacks that he ever took batting left-handed like he's doing right now came in Woodburn, Oregon, in an old coin-operated batting cage. His dad said, "Why don't you give it a try?"
I would say it's worked out for him. He's had a nice career.
Been a big part of his game. For so many years, it was a struggle for Lowry to stay healthy. And last year really nipped out of the bud. Felix ahead of him, 1-2. Just missing. Lowry lives in Houston. Of course, he played for the Astros for a while, but has a home in Bend, Oregon. He and his wife want to live in the Northwest when they're retired. Close, full count.
Well, he's trying to hit the outside corner with his fastball last couple of pitches and missed. The last one, a good fastball still for Felix, 93 miles an hour.
Payoff pitch. Trying to get him to bite, and he takes it for strike 3. Fastball that Lowry doesn't quite agree with.
Well, you can see he's upset with it. Felix, last 3 pitches, all of them fastballs, trying to hit the outside corner. And we'll take a look at this last fastball. A little run to it. And again, I think you can credit Mike Zunino and the job that he does behind the plate to help him out. Good look at our McDonald's Supermo on this last fastball, but Lowry certainly didn't like the call. It's interesting. And talking to Rick Waits today, I was talking about just that and pitchers, and he says if you consistently throw strikes and you're in an area, the umpires, because they're human, will eventually give you some pitches off the plate because you've consistently been there. It's not that they're trying to help you out. It's just their eyes are trained. They know you can hit that spot. This ball's hit well into the gap.
Finds the grass. Chavez by the wall as Reddick coasts in with a stand-up double. Well, Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast, by BECU, offering convenient access to online and mobile banking. Get info and join at becu.org, and by Pizza Hut. Make it great.
For the A's, they had the solo home run for Donaldson to tie the game up, and now this double from Reddick. He's the first runner that has been in scoring position. First opportunity for the A's to try to drive in a run.
That's a good point. Chance here for Norris. Felix had not allowed an extra base hit over the first 5 innings. Now 2 to the last 5 batters, going back to Donaldson's homer.
For the Mariners, they're 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position, so both pitchers a little stingy tonight.
Not many chances. Look at what the A's did last night, or did not do. Oakland 1 for 14. And the win last night for the Mariners with runners in scoring position. Norris just gets a piece, but sends it back to Zunino's glove. Norris last year was really a platoon player, like it seems like almost everyone for the A's, but really worked himself into more of an everyday role. But there's no doubt his numbers better against lefties than righties. A weak wave and strike 2.
Take a look at this last swing. It's a fastball down, and Norris completely fooled on the pitch. He's swinging underwater right there.
Reddick at second. 1-2. Bounces a mile high. Zunino has to play like a pop-up.
That will be a wild pitch. Looks like the changeup. It's out in front of the plate. And it is. They're trying to backhand it, going off the heel of his glove. Now the Mariners will have to bring their infield in with just 1 out.
Now for all the good that comes with that changeup, and it's immeasurable. Wild pitches, a product of it. 16th of the season for Felix. Second in the American League. Big strikeout. Oh, he tied him up. That is a huge punch out for Felix. Number 7 tonight.
He just goes back to the best pitch in baseball, and that is his changeup. And it is a good one right on the inside corner and down as Norris will swing over the top of it. Still some work to do, though, with Sogard. Sogard 2 for 2 tonight. Number 9 hitter for the A's. See what he's done against Oakland this year. In 5 starts, the team 5-0, ERA just over 2. He's pitched deep into the ball game.
First one is Sogard. Taylor off his glove. A's have the lead. Sogard a 3-hit night. And a big-time knock. He drives into Reddick.
And again, aggressive. Gets the first pitch fastball up in the zone. Solid line drive off the bat of Sogard. Let's see the location. Middle of the plate and up. Just out of the reach of Taylor.
Nearly got to it. Big night for Sogard. Morrison has it close by. For Sogard tonight, only his 3rd 3-hit night of the season. That ties the season high, so he timed it well. It's his first hit tonight that has not left the infield.
And coming into the game, just a 200 hitter off of Felix. 5-25.
Crisp 1 for 3. There goes Sogard. Bunt shown. Throw to second. And out of time.
Take a look at it. Mike ends up bouncing it off the grass, and Taylor able to handle it. But yeah, Sogard just gets his hand in there. Good look at our McDonald Supermos. He dives into second.
Pretty close. Sogard's 11th steal. He's been caught only twice. One ball and 1 strike now to Crisp.
And Felix now at 90 pitches in the ball game. Joe Beimel getting loose in the Mariner pen.
The Mariners have not lost this year against the A's when Felix got the start. Felix trying to shut the door on the A's in the 7th. Big runner out there at second. That's Sogard. Toppled the first, but foul. Felix has been so good this year against the A's. Has allowed more than 2 runs against Oakland only 1 time in 5 previous starts. Sellout crowd ready for a strikeout here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch to Crisp, but check swing foul. First 5 innings from Felix tonight, he was in absolute cruise control. No runs, only 4 hits and 3 punch-outs. Last inning at 2/3, a couple of runs, 3 hits, and 4 strikeouts. Sogard at second. He's given the A's the lead. 2-2. And Sogard down to third base. Well, that single has turned into a triple.
And another wild pitch. It'll be on the changeup again. This one at 90 miles an hour. The A's 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Felix able to get out of it as the A's have taken the lead here in the 7th. But he strands Sogard 90 feet from home. Time to stretch. A's on top. Stretch is brought to you by Washington's Lottery and the Department of Imagination. What would you do if you won? It's on to the bottom of the 7th here inside a jam-packed Safeco Field. Beautiful sellout crowd tonight. Game 2 with the A's after the Mariners won last night 4-2. Night court in session tonight for the first time ever. And the A's have now taken the lead thanks to a 2-out Eric Sogard base hit. And that scored Josh Reddick, who doubled with 1 out. And now the task for the Mariners, find a way to get to Sonny Gray.
Well, they have the middle of their lineup. Cano going to lead things off right here. Then you have Morales and Seager, Morrison, who's been a hot hitter for him. This is as good a time as any. Get that run right back. Maybe put a couple on the board.
Great 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, only 3 hits.
Felix now well over 90 pitches, so he has to be close. Let's see the Mariners do something here in this inning.
Cano takes ball 1. Robinson looking to get something going off of Gray. 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of ground ball outs, including one back towards the mound.
There you go.
Driven deep right field, and this game is tied.
Love it when the stars show up. Cano with a home run last night. Another one here to tie the ball game up. And it looked like it was a changeup, 86 miles an hour. And he hammers it into the seats and right. We'll take a look at it. Center cut. This is a mistake by Gray, and he makes him pay for it. Again, Cano homering last night. We get the Mariners on the scoreboard in the 1st inning, and now the home run in the 7th to tie the ball game up.
What a blast. That's a beautiful thing. Number 14 this season for the Mariners, second baseman. Cano tops it to Sogard. And a pretty routine out, number 1.
One of the advantages of staying inside the baseball and trying to think more towards the middle of the diamond is when you make a mistake with a changeup or a hanging breaking ball, typically you'll be on it. And he was on that one. He knew it as soon as he touched it off. Well back into the stands.
Just the sound of contact with Cano that time around. That is just glorious. What a home run. What a sound.
Hayes will put the shift on with Seager hitting.
Strike 1 to Kyle. We have heard chants here at Safeco Field for the King. They called that for a reason. And maybe the only other guy that we hear a chant for at Safeco Field, Kyle Seager.
And Felix at 95 pitches. It looks like his night is done. Joe Beimel starting to get loose in the pen again.
Backhand play by Moss. Gray at first, 2 outs.
Take a look at what Felix has done. Another good outing for him. 7 innings, 7 hits, just 2 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody. A big key in this one tonight. 8 strikeouts. He threw 95 pitches, 58 of them for strikes.
Another fine start for Felix. As we are tied once more. A couple of home runs, both solo shots. Donaldson for the A's, Cano for the Mariners. Shift on for Morrison.
And Tom Wilhelmsen has joined Beimel in the pen. Felix going 7 innings. Lloyd McClendon can mix and match the rest of the way.
2 outs, base is clean. And it's in a situation like this, Mike, where you feel really good. When it goes down to the bullpens, there's nobody better than the Mariners.
Well, they've had the best bullpen, most dominant bullpen all year. When you look at it, Mariners bullpen of 2.39. The A's are second, but they're at a 2.84.
And scuffling a little bit lately. Helped by getting Doolittle back. into the shift. Lowry over on the first base side of second. And that'll do it for the Mariners in the 7th. But Cano muscles one deep to right field, his 14th, and we are tied through 7.
As we head to the 8th inning, his 14th home run of the season. A reminder, folks, to be here this fall as Big Sky Conference football kicks off on Root Sports, presented by your local Ford store. So watch the Eastern Washington Eagles take on the Montana State Bobcats. All the action begins next Saturday at noon Pacific on Root Sports, home of the Big Sky. And speaking of those Bobcats, Montana State over Central Arkansas today. A couple of scores to catch you up on. Idaho State winners 39-34, the final there. Unfortunately for Portland State, doesn't look like they're going to be able to overcome the Washington State Cougars. That game in the 4th quarter, and Montana right now leading South Dakota by 4. That one just in the 3rd. Aaron, back upstairs to you.
Okay, Angie, thank you so much. We've got a new pitcher up on the mound to begin things in the top of the 8th. Joe Beimel taking over the mound duties after Felix goes 7 innings.
Beimel has pitched well for the Mariners this year. Look at that ERA, a 1.98 ERA, 23 strikeouts, 12 walks, opponents hitting .235 against him.
He faces Fold. We last saw Beimel on Tuesday. Saw him against the Astros. Got Jason Castro to ground out. Pitched a 3rd of an inning scoreless.
I think he's in just to pitch to one hitter. Charlie Furbush has joined Tom Wilhelmsen in the pen. You have the right-hander Donaldson due up next.
It makes sense, as you were saying, and ability to now mix and match if you're Lloyd McClendon. Nice swing and a miss there to make it 1-2. We have seen Beimel this year. He's so tough on lefties, left-handed batters, hitting just a notch over 175 this year against Beimel. Beimel's 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Felix 2 runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts over those 7 innings tonight. Lloyd keeping an eye on the bullpen now. Talking things over with bench coach Trench Jewett. The 2-2 to Fold. A chopper just gets past Beimel. Taylor scoops it up. Now number 1. See what Lloyd decides to do here. Donaldson, a right-handed bat coming up. Wilhelmsen ready to go, and so is Lloyd. Bible does his job, and we've got a call to the bullpen. We will see Tom Wilhelmsen coming on here with 1 out, and the base is empty, all tied up in the 8th inning. The game, and it came thanks to Mariners second baseman Robinson Cano.
And great timing for Cano to hit his 14th home run on the season. Ties the ball game up at 2-2. Again, Cano, big series with the A's here, finishing up with them, and he's homered in back-to-back games.
What do you think, Mike? Do you think he thought that ball was gone when he hit it?
He had a pretty good idea.
He played the part pretty well right there. What a big time for Cano to come up with a big time blast, as now we have Tom Wilhelmsen up on the mound for the Mariners after Joe Bible goes a third of an inning facing and retiring Sam Fuld.
For Tom, ERA just over 2. What opponent's batting average? Just 168 against Tom. His fastball will be 95 to 98 miles an hour, 12-6 curveball, a changeup, and he also mix in a cutter.
Facing Donaldson, who homered his last time up in the 6th. Last time out for Wilhelmsen was on Wednesday against the Astros here at home. 1 run over an inning. Gave up 2 hits. It was Alex Presley who knocked home an RBI with a base hit. And for Wilhelmsen, that run scored against him came really as a complete shock. He'd only given up 2 runs since the All-Star break before his last time out. They were both on solo homers. That's how good Wilhelmsen has been, especially here since the All-Star break. He has had so many roles this season. They are the Mariners bullpen. Lloyd calls him the glue back there. Just misses to make it 2-1.
Danny Farquhar getting loose in the pen with Charlie Furbush.
Righty to lefty there. 1 out, nobody on. 3-1. Donaldson now with 95 RBIs this year. Last season there were only 2 Major League third baseman to drive in at least 100, Miguel Cabrera and Pedro Alvarez of the Pirates. Donaldson now 5 RBIs shy of the century mark this season. Does not go around. He takes ball 4. First walk tonight drawn by an ace hitter, Mike, and that's saying something.
And we're going to get another pitching change. Charlie Furbush, Adam Dunn due up. Brandon Moss on deck.
So Wilhelmsen cannot retire Donaldson. He puts the go-ahead run on at first base. And a pitching change here to bring on Charlie Furbush, tied at 2. % or more on car insurance. By Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care with every Mariners win. By American Family Insurance, your dream is out there. Go get it. Find out more at amfam.com/dreams. And by Volvo, simple innovations to make your life better. That's Volvo, innovating for you. New pitcher up on the mound for the Mariners. It is Charlie Furbush. He'll be the third pitcher here in the 8th. We started out with Joe Bible, then saw Tom Wilhelmsen, who walked Josh Donaldson, first time that Tom has not recorded an out in an appearance this year. And here is Charlie Furbush.
For Charlie, a 3.63 ERA, 45 strikeouts in 39 2/3. Opponents hitting just .250 against him. And Johnny Gomes is going to pinch hit for Adam Dunn. So both managers working hard here at the end of this ball game.
Gomes, a right-handed hitter in there to face the lefty. That'll be it for Dunn. Dunn finishes 0 for 3 tonight, including a strikeout looking on a curveball from Felix that Dunn might still be trying to figure out. It was just a perfect pitch.
And you can see he's a dangerous hitter. A couple of home runs pinch hitting this year.
Gomes digs in, big spot here. Go ahead run. You see him, Donaldson at first base. 1 out, 1 on. Wanted a lot of that pitch. Gomes grew up an A's fan. First ballpark was the Coliseum. Grew up watching the Bash Brothers. And here he is back, his second stint with Oakland after coming over in the John Lester deal. Donaldson not far off the bag. Gomes has not seen Furbush much at all. Only his second at bat against Furbush in his career. Hitless so far. Big wave and a miss. And Charlie ahead 0-2.
A couple of good fastballs from Charlie. 2 seamers with a little run on it. You can see Gomes pulling off of the ball. Just cued the first one off the end and completely misses that last fastball. Perfect location for Charlie.
One out, go ahead run at first base. All tied up here in the 8th inning. The 0-2 just gets a piece. Bob Melvin has been very candid in his remarks over the last few days about the play of his team. less than a week ago calling it embarrassing, saying that the A's have put too much pressure on themselves for much of this year. The best team in baseball now riding a slip and slide. Pop back and a foul ball.
A couple of elevated fastballs. And Charlie is going to try to waste a pitch up. He needs to get a little bit higher. Pitch is a little bit dangerous.
Moss is on deck. Charlie ready to go. The 0-2. Zunino able to put a glove on it.
Good play. That fastball in the other batter's box. He caught it right on the end of the webbing.
Almost took the glove right off. The 1-2 to Gomes and a tie. Gomes looks like he holds that grip on the bat tight enough to shave it down to sawdust. Such a tense stance inside the box. And we saw with a couple of swings, he's trying to rip one out of the ballpark. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Big time punch out for Charlie Furbush.
He just went with his fastball for the first 6 pitches, and then he finally comes up with that slider, able to throw it right underneath the hands of Johnny Gomes. Trying to speed him up with the fastball. Good look at him, McDonald Supermo, and you can see Charlie in the spin of the ball right under his hands. Good pitch.
Exactly what he was looking for. 2 outs. Donaldson still at first base.
Mariners with the shift on.
First one to Moss.
Really well located. Right on the inside corner.
We normally see so many batters back in the box.
Yeah, he was out in front.
About as close as he could get. Oh, yeah. 2-0. Moss 2 for 5 lifetime against Charlie Furbush. Has taken him deep once. Go ahead run still looming at first base. That's Donaldson who walked. Two balls and a strike. Well, Mike, this game has the feeling, the tenseness, exactly what we anticipated, doesn't it?
We just felt that, for me, most of the time it'll come down to a home run or a mistake, and the Mariners don't make many mistakes, and I think that Lloyd McClendon thought maybe one was made by Charlie right there as he hustles out to the mound to have a conversation with him. But when you looked at the pitching matchup, Aaron, you had to know that runs were going to be at a premium, and that's been the case tonight. Not many opportunities for either club.
You can see a sellout crowd here, nearly 44,000 strong. As everyone here well aware as to what's at stake tonight, the rest of the way for the Mariners. Felix on the mound. Felix tonight going 7 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts.
Well, you have the 2 best bullpens too, so it's going to be difficult. Nobody throwing in the A's pen, so it looks as if Sonny Gray is going to come out and pitch the bottom of the 8th.
Furbush, so tough on lefties. Moss has really slumped since the All-Star break. He, along with the departure of Cespedes, big reason why the A's have struggled offensively. 3 balls and a strike now to Moss. He saw Furbush last night for a third of an inning. He picked up the hold. He was able to retire Adam Dunn. So Furbush now working back-to-back nights. Go-ahead run for the A's at first base. Furbush is 3-1, and it makes it a full count. Now this has been a lengthy top of the 8th. We have seen Beimel, Wilhelmsen, and now Furbush. After Felix went 7. First ever night court this evening here at Safeco Field. Everybody up on their feet. Hoping to see Furbush retire Moss and send this one to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Lowry waiting on deck. Lowry against left-handers, a .233 hitter, .253 against righties. See how Lloyd wants to play it.
Ball 4. Moss takes first base.
Now he'll have to make a decision.
Now save time and money. Riding sounder from Lakewood and South Tacoma to Seattle. For schedules, just visit soundtransit.org. And that'll be it for Furbush, as he walks Moss after striking out pinch hitting Johnny Gomes. Jed Lowry due up, and we've got a pitching change. We're back here to Safeco Field, tied at 2.
Game, and the A's are threatening with runners on first and second with 2 outs. Hi everyone, Angie Mentic here at the Ford Sports Desk. Meantime, I think the Detroit Tigers were probably scoreboard watching tonight. They saw the Kansas City Royals won, so they knew they had to come back in their game against the Cleveland Indians, and in the 8th inning they do that. Alex Avila hits a 2-run home run, and so Detroit still on top in the Central standings, a half a game up on the Kansas City Royals. I kind of already told you what's going to happen next. Kansas City, they did win their earlier game 7-1 over Boston. Omar Infante had a pretty good day, 3 for 4 for the Royals with a couple of RBIs. So right now the Royals and the Athletics tied for the first and second wild card spots, and the Mariners a half game back. But of course, somehow, some way, if Danny Farquhar can get them out of this jam, guys, and the Mariners can gain the lead, then they would have the upper hand in the wild card. Aaron.
All right, Angie, thank you. So yes, here is Danny Farquhar, now the 4th pitcher here in this 8th inning.
And for Danny, a good fastball. He will be in the mid-90s with his fastball. Likes to throw his cutter. 89, 90 miles an hour, 12-6 curveball, and a changeup.
back, looks at a strike.
Good cut fastball at 89 miles an hour.
It has been Bible, Wilhelmsen, Furbush, and now Farquhar.
Mariners play Lowry straight up. Austin Jackson shading just a little bit towards left center.
0-2.
Left fastball at the top of the strike zone. So Danny can either elevate it a little bit more, higher fastball, or maybe go to his 12-6 curveball right here.
Go ahead run for the A's at second base. That's Donaldson. The 0-2 from Farquhar. Check swing, and he goes around. Zunino plucks it up, throws to first base. Farquhar gets the Mariners out of the 8th inning. The A's strand a pair, and we stay tied. On to the bottom of the 8th, all knotted at 2.
Tied because of the best bullpen in all of baseball. We get to see Charlie Furbush, Danny Farquhar, and also Tom Wilhelmsen. He's right behind Furbush there, giving each other high fives in this one. Coming up on our Mariners post-game show, presented by Delta Airlines. Jen is on the field and in the clubhouse for player interviews. We're coming at it from all angles. I'm up here at the Ford Sports Desk with the latest on the playoff push. And we will also let you know the Huskies and the Cougars did today. And Brad Adam is in center field with Dave Valley, who I might add threw a mighty fine first pitch tonight before this ball game even started. Aaron?
Yeah, looked pretty good. Thank you, Angie. Danny Farquhar gets the Mariners out of a jam in the 8th as Bible, Wilhelmsen, Furbush, and Farquhar combined to go a scoreless 8th.
It was the 12-6 curveball that put him away, too. Bounced it right in front of the plate to get the swing.
Zunino jumps on the first, a quick skimmer to third base. Donaldson vacuums it up, and there's out number 1. Well, the most popular way to follow the Mariners' push to the postseason is with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, replays, reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, the MLB TV Game of the Day, and more. Get at Bat for your smartphone or tablet on the App Store or visit Mariners.com.
Well, my hope was that Sonny Gray is still in the ball game. He had to sit in the dugout for quite a while, well over 20 minutes. And maybe he would lose command. Mike Zunino hit the ball hard, but unfortunately it was right at Donaldson.
One quick out. Now the pitch to Jones, swinging a bouncer right back up the middle for a base hit.
He will not be at first for very long. This is exactly what the Mariners needed. James Jones, their best at stealing bases. And again, aggressive on the fastball. Saw Zunino hit the first pitch right at Donaldson, and now Jones doing the same thing, but he finds a hole back up the middle.
Gray thought about barehanding that for a moment. Jones at first.
25 steals in 26 attempts.
And they will keep a close eye on Jones at first base.
This is always interesting to me, and we've seen it with James having come off the bench for Lloyd late in ball games, which is where this one is at right now. But the other thing to think about, you have a big hole on the right side of the infield. If he decides to run, the other infielders will be moving around. It makes them uncomfortable because of the speed of Jones, and they are certainly aware of that. As Sonny Gray throws over a couple of times, he is going to test Norris.
First pitch to Taylor. He swings and takes it foul.
First pitch fastball to Taylor. Gregerson and Abad getting loose in the pen.
Jones itching to go. The pitch. Strike two.
And you can see Sonny Gray throwing a couple of fastballs right there, both of them in the middle of the plate. Again, I think it's because of Jones over at first base, trying to give Norris a chance to throw him out if he decides to run. Catchers typically will call for more fastballs to be thrown.
Close pitch. 1-2. Gray has not allowed many steals behind him this year. That being said, all 5 that have tried have been successful.
Next pitch will be 90 for him.
Rips right through it. Taylor down on strikes. 2 outs.
Well, Sonny Gray still has a good fastball, able to throw 3 fastballs right by Chris Taylor. He was late on all of them.
What a perfect time this would be for Austin Jackson. Trying to break his way through an 0-for-13 skid. Jones at first, all tied at 2, bottom of the 8th inning. And the first pitch to Jackson. Scrapes the knuckles practically. Ball 1.
Sonny Gray going to a slide step. Going to quicken up his motion to home plate.
Gray, throw to first. Off Moss's glove. Jones high steps to second. How big is that?
Well, we talked about sometimes the difference is mistakes, and maybe that's the mistake the Mariners have been waiting for. The A's are 13th in fielding as Jones, again with his speed, getting a lot of attention over at first, right off the end of the glove of Moss, and that will get him into scoring position.
That is huge as Moss has to hurdle Jones to track that ball down. It's an error on Gray. And now they give it to Moss. One ball and 1 strike. Tough at bat here for Jackson, squaring off against one of the better righties in the league. Go ahead run at second base. Norris able to keep it in front of him.
Jones out at second base. He has to get himself a good secondary lead. As you see this last pitch curveball in the dirt. Good job by Norris to block it. Reddick with a good arm in right. Coco Crisp does not throw well in center field. Sam Fold has a good throwing arm in left.
The count favors Jackson. Number 99 leading off of second. On the way, the 2-1. Just low.
It's the best fastball we've seen from Sonny Gray. 95 miles an hour.
That's a big take there from Jackson.
Fernando Rodney getting loose in the pen for the Mariners.
3 balls and a strike. Go ahead run at second base. Full count. The Mariners getting a run earlier tonight in the 3rd. They took the lead 1-0 on the RBI base knock by Taylor, scoring Jones after the triple. A's tied it up with the Donaldson homer in the 6th. They took the lead in the 7th. RBI from Sogard. Mariners tied it up in the 7th. Cano's 14th led off the inning. And now Austin Jackson a chance to put the Mariners on top in the 8th inning. Gray's payoff pitch cut right through it. Jackson strikes out with Jones at second base, and that wraps up 8 innings. We go to the 9th, all even at 2.
And right now it's 2-2 as we are in the 9th inning. Right now it is time for a look at our AT&T fan photo of the game. Remember to tweet your photos, hashtag Mariners fan photo, for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. We introduce you to Suzanne, who says Dave and I at our second game this week to see Felix on the mound. And you know what? We're glad everybody's watching at home on Root Sports, but it's okay if you come down here. Not once, but twice, maybe 3 times in a week. That's good. Aaron?
All right, Angie, Suzanne, glad to have you at the ballpark tonight. Mariners and the A's, middle game of the series. Farquhar's 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Reddick beginning the 9th. As this one has, well, pretty much lived up to the billing, Mike.
Well, I would agree with that. Let's see if Danny can throw up a 0 right here. Mariners have Chavez, Cano, and Morales. Seager due up.
Reddick behind 1-2.
It's interesting to see Sonny Gray. I thought maybe sitting in the dugout for such a long period of time and the amount of pitches that he was going to be tired. Another good curveball from Danny as he gets the easy out.
But he showed a couple of his best fastballs to Austin Jackson. The last two fastballs, 95 miles an hour each.
Routine out to begin the ninth as we take a look at our Delta Airlines wildcard standings. And we could see the A's, the Royals right there on top. The Mariners looking for a win tonight to leapfrog Oakland. As we take a look at the Delta Airlines wildcard, keep on climbing standings here. Things getting awfully fun this time of year. Also very stressful for everybody watching at home. But this is the beauty of late season baseball. The Mariners now with 80 wins this year, first time since 2009 to have an 80-win campaign. Lloyd McClendon has inserted himself right in the conversation for American League Manager of the Year. Hard hit grounder. Norris, a one-out base knock. First hit tonight for the A's catcher.
Looks like it's the cut fastball again. 88 miles an hour right on the outside corner. Not a bad pitch. Good hitting by Norris. See Doolittle getting loose in the pen. Closer for the A's. And Sogard, one of the hitting stars for the A's tonight. 3 for 3. Had the base hit to drive in the second run. So has a stolen base.
And if he picks up a hit here for a 4-hit night, that would be a season high.
Good idea. Danny throwing over to first. Norris runs well, even though he's a catcher. Don't get too lazy and forget about him.
Sogard the go-ahead run. Pardon me, Norris. The pitch to Sogard. Strike one. Sogard has never had a 4-hit game in his career. And he falls behind here, 0-2. Some tense times for Bob Melvin. His A's have won the West the last 2 years. Lloyd looking about the same, whether he's up by a dozen or down by a dozen or tied in the 13th. And it stays put. Farquhar this year has really started to mix in that changeup. A pitch will use to lefties like Sogard. Farquhar's 0-2, toppled to Cano. Spins to second for one, on to first, not in time.
Well, there was nothing that Chris Taylor can do about it. The ball wasn't hit sharply. It was a two-hopper. Cano was able to get rid of it quickly, and a strong throw by Chris Taylor as Sogard just beats it. Now you have to keep an eye on him. He already has a stolen base in this one tonight. Just take a look at our McDonald's Supermo. Clearly beats it out.
That's good hustle. So the A's still have the go-ahead run at first base. Coco Crisp digs in for the 5th time tonight. Farquhar wants to keep it a close eye on Sogard. Both sides with a solo homer tonight. It was Donaldson's 27th of the season in the 6th. Cano tied it up at 2 apiece, where we stand now with his leadoff homer in the 7th. Felix, 2 runs over 7 innings. Then it went Beimel, Wilhelmsen, Furbush, and Farquhar to navigate the Mariners through the 8th. As Farquhar stranded 2 on, both reached with walks. 1 ball and 1 strike. That a situation, Mike, where he starts to cut her outside?
He likes that pitch, and they like for him to throw that pitch when it's late in the ball game, especially when it's tied like this. You just don't want one swing to beat you, so try to keep it away from him. If they can put together 3 or 4 hits, okay, but there's another good one. Going at the bottom of the strike zone. I think you probably remember, Aaron, earlier in the year when Lloyd made a couple of trips out to the mound when Danny was there, and that throw was because Danny really likes to throw that pitch in on the hands of the lefty. But if you make any kind of mistake, it's trouble. And so Lloyd said, go ahead and throw your credit, but throw it on the outer half of the plate as opposed to inside, and he's done an excellent job of that this year.
That's a good blueprint. What a game tonight. So glad you could be with us. Game 2 of 3 with the A's. All tied at 2. Where else but the 9th inning? The 1-2 outside. There goes Sogard. Throw to second. Tag. And he's safe.
We'll take a look at it. Ball on the opposite side of the bag. Let's see if he gets the tag there in time. And I think he does. Then Lloyd McClendon out of the dugout. He's going to have him take a look at it. I think he's out. The ball beats him. And a good quick tag by I think he's out. Taylor was able to tag him on his arm before he was able to get in there. I think they will call him out and end the inning. Strong throw by Zunino. That's close on that side. That look right there, it looked like maybe he was able to sneak his hand in there. We'll take another look. No, he's out. He is out. They're gonna change that call. They just showed it on the big screen. You can hear the reaction from the fans here. That one's a little bit tougher to tell because you can't tell when Taylor tags him and when his hand hits the bag. But on this one, I think it's fairly clear that he tags him before his hand can get to the base.
It is so close, but you're right, Mike. That angle looks like out number 3. Right there.
Yeah.
That's the shot right there. Let's hope New York is watching that one, because that's the angle.
Well, if you're a Mariner fan and you haven't enjoyed instant replay, you may like it now. This is a big call.
Looks like no matter what, when you go to the bottom of the 9th, Sonny Gray done for the night. Gray 8 innings. Through a ton of strikes. Off come the headsets. And he's out. And that'll end the 9th. We go to the bottom half. The Mariners a chance to walk off with a win against the A's. A chance to take the series, as we'll have Chavez, Cano, and Morales stick around. Mariners hoping for a walk-off tonight in front of a sellout crowd at Safeco Field. Not many runs. We're tied at 2, and one of them came on this bomb by Robinson Cano. This led off the 7th inning and tied us up where we are right now at 2 apiece.
We knew that Felix would show up. He certainly did. Sonny Gray was brilliant for the A's, and 2 offensive stars for the Mariners. Cano with the home run, and then of course Donaldson with a home run for the A's. For Sonny Gray, 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 96 pitches, 59 of those for strikes. Luke Gregerson will take over on the year, a 2.22 ERA. Again, the A's with a quality bullpen. They're just second behind the Mariners in ERA. Opponents hitting just .215. He's given up 5 home runs this year. He's going to try to keep the ball down in the zone. Sinker, slider.
He has just a tremendous slider. One of the best of any bullpen in baseball. Former setup man for Houston Street in San Diego. Now both in the same division in the West. Chavez, strike 1.
And there it is. There's a slider for strike 1.
Gregerson has been just an amazing setup man over the course of his career. Set an all-time single season record with 40 holds back in 2010. Weak grounder, tough play, low snag, throw to first, 1 out. Now having to face Robinson Cano.
He's feeling pretty good right now. 1 for 3 tonight, but that 1 hit, a home run, that tied up the ball game in the 7th inning.
$43,913 tonight, a sellout crowd. And at this time of the night, hoping for a walk-off win. Taking the whole way, ball 1. Been a while since Cano's last walk-off homer. Maybe he's due. 1-0. Keeping it outside. Gregerson has not allowed an earned run his last 6 times out. But has coughed up 5 earned over his last 10 1/3 innings.
And Rodney getting loose again in the pen.
Two and 1. Now Cano has not seen Gregerson much in his career. 1 for 2 lifetime. Not much to work off there. Big rip to even it up. Mike, when you only see a guy a couple of times, who does it favor?
I think that it always favors the pitcher. I think the more that a hitter gets a chance to see the pitcher, his timing is better. He knows where to look as far as picking up the ball. I think that the hitter, with the more he can see a pitcher, that it's in his favor.
Morales would be next.
Slider.
Right side. Sogard tumbles. Out number 2. A formed tackle that time by Eric Sogard. And the first 2 sat down on ground balls.
Well, he started to go to a knee because this ball was down onto the ground. Then it comes up last minute for him. Makes a good adjustment and a good play. We were talking about Morales earlier in the game. Got a home run last night. As good a time as any, Aaron. Get hot the last 2 weeks.
Sounds like a plan. We saw Cano homer last night. He is homered tonight. Maybe a chance for Morales on back-to-back evenings. Both times at the A's expense. Strike 1.
0 for 2 with a walk tonight.
2. Gregerson trying to send this one to the 10th. The 0-2 to Morales, and that's exactly where we're going. 3 pitches, all strikes. Morales tied up, and we go to the 10th inning here at Safeco Field, tied at 2. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side. We are headed to the 10th. Mariners and the A's all tied at 2 on a packed house tonight from Safeco Field as we take a look at our game summary tonight. And Mike had started off in the 3rd.
Well, it did. James Jones ends up hitting a triple and go off the center field fence. Coco Chris can't get the back there in time, and with the speed of Jones, it's an easy triple for him. He ended up leading the inning off with that triple, so the Mariners in good shape early as Chris Taylor will come up, pick up a base hit, and drive in the first run of the ball game. Then in the 6th inning, Felix pitching well, but this changeup, he leaves it up a little bit, and Donaldson hits it into the back of the bullpen. That will tie up the game. And we'll move into the 7th inning. Eric Sogard, what a night. He has 3 hits tonight. Gets a base hit to drive in a run, so now the A's have the lead.
And then Cano, an absolute tee shot. What a way for the Mariners to start the 7th as Cano watched that one sail for a while. And that has put us at 2 apiece and has sent us now to the top of the 10th.
Cano homering in back-to-back games, 14 home runs on the year now. And Fernando Rodney is going to take over for the Mariners. For Rodney, not a save opportunity for him. 2.49 ERA, 68 strikeouts, and 61 in the 3rd. Opponent sitting 243. Good fastball. It's fastball anywhere from 92 to 97 miles an hour. And, of course, the great changeup at 80.
A's this year in extra innings 11-8. The Mariners 3-6. First extra inning ball game since early August.
And Sogard getting thrown out at second base, the number 9 hitter to end the 9th inning for the A's. So it'll be back to the top of the lineup. Coco Chris, the leadoff hitter, will start things off here in the 10th. That's what the Mariners have done in extra innings, 3-6 record. Rodney, the 5th reliever for the Mariners.
Now the bullpen's been busy tonight.
Well, they're still in good shape. They had 12 relievers out there to start the game, so still 7 more relievers for Lloyd McClendon. He's good for another 9 innings, Aaron.
Saying that with a straight face. 12. Oh, we got 12 relievers back there.
They're all good ones too.
The joys of roster expansion. In addition to having already a full bullpen, Mariners were carrying 8 before the end of August. Rodney's 0-1, makes it 0-2. Rodney's last time out, he picked up his 45th save of the season, most in the majors. As he tries to get Crisp to bite that time, he holds back. It has caused some white knuckles, but what an addition Rodney has been this year. In terms of saves, the best 9th inning man in baseball this year. Crisp, Fold, Donaldson. Top of the 10th, due up for the A's here. Crisp 1-2. And it evens up. Now we see what Rodney has done this year. Tying Sasaki, an all-star season for the Mariners closer back in 2001. What a year it has been for Fernando Rodney, though. The 2-2 outside, a runner full.
Sam Fold waiting on deck.
Rodney's payoff pitch, ball 4. The A's have the go-ahead run at first base.
And this will be interesting. Coco Crisp can certainly steal a base here, but Sam Fold can handle the bat. And he has really good speed, so we'll see how Bob Melvin wants to play it. Kyle Seager in on the grass at third, expecting the bunt. The A's last in sacrifice bunting this year in the American League. And they don't like to do much of it, but this is certainly a time you would think they would try it.
And he does. But instead, Fold looking at ball 1. On a wheels turning there in the A's dugout. Oakland has to go ahead and run it first. But once again, Zunino finds it. And there is one out. Sacrifice pushes Crisp into scoring position. They give up an out to put a runner at second.
We'll see what Lloyd wants to do now. You have Donaldson do up his homered in this game. Has 95 RBIs on the season. First base is open. Cayespo has come out on deck. He will hit for Gomes, who had hit for Dunn earlier in the game, and they're going to put him on.
Not a bad idea here. Rodney a walk to Crisp in the sack bunt. So a man at second base rather face Cayespo here.
Cayespo, a switch hitter.
Donaldson with that home run, his 27th of the season earlier tonight. He now has 95 RBIs. Best hitter for the A's, so you can understand why Lloyd wants no parts of Donaldson getting any kind of swing. And there's the fourth wide one. So Donaldson trots to first as the singing lefty pitching coach Rick Waits trots out to the mound.
With Cayespo pinch hitting, they're going to go over the scouting report with Rodney on what they want to do right here. Again, for Fernando, with just one out, he has to keep an eye on Coco Crisp at second base. I don't think Donaldson will go anywhere, but Coco, a veteran, he thinks that Rodney's not paying attention to him. He'll get a big lead and try it.
Cayespo, the former Angel, picked up last year by the A's right around the deadline when both teams swapped 1-for-1 as Grant Green, former first-round draft pick by the Oakland A's, went over to Anaheim. He spent some time there with the Halos this year. So in this number 4 spot tonight for Bob Melvin, it was Adam Dunn who got the start. Then he gave way to Johnny Gomes. And now Cayespo. One out, 2 on, tied to the 10th. Outside, 2-0. High drama here in the 10th. Rodney looking for a strike. And there it is, 2-1.
It's like Abad and Doolittle both getting loose in the pen for the A's.
Doolittle, their closer, midway through the season, just coming off the disabled list yesterday. Did not pitch last night. 3-1.
Take the intentional walk out of the equation. 13 pitches, just 5 strikes for Rodney.
Trying to find some command.
Medina getting loose in the pen. Interesting. Medina getting loose in the pen for the Mariners.
2 on, 1 out. 3-1. And it almost clips him. Either way, he gets first base. Bases full. All on ball 4.
And that will bring up Brandon Moss. Moss 1 for 3 with a walk in this one. Had a single back in the 4th inning, walked in the 8th. And you take a look at Medina.
Pretty tense times here. Moss, a walk, a single, a fly ball out to the warning track in left field. Also a strikeout tonight.
And you can see 2 for 5 off of Rodney, but a couple of strikeouts, and Fernando could certainly use one here. Maybe a double play, get out of the inning. Oh boy.
Zunino looking for it, scavenger hunt, and he finds it.
And he did a great job to keep it in front of him. That fastball at 94 miles an hour in the other batter's box. Take a look at Mike behind the plate. And actually hit the umpire in the leg too, so a lot of help.
An assist from Mike Malinsky. Crisp at third. Donaldson at second. Callasco at first base. And now it's 2-0. With the command issues, Mike, has the changeup been taken out?
I think so at this point. With Rodney, you never know, though. He'll throw it at any time, but he has to get a strike here. There's nowhere to put Moss.
One out, bases packed, tied in the 10th.
There's a
big whip and a miss.
He's something. Change up, top of the strike zone. 84 miles an hour, struggling with his fastball command, comes back with the changeup.
And he turns Moss into a soft pretzel right here.
Wow. What a pitch.
Hopefully signs of things to come. Three balls and a strike, that time missing with the heat. And Rodney's got to give a strike now. What is going through the mind of Fernando Rodney right now? Crisp at third, Donaldson at second, Callasco at first. Moss has been ice cold since the All-Star break, but he can thaw at any moment. 3 balls and a strike. Here we go. Full count. Sellout crowd tonight. All for night court. King Felix, the A's. Game 2 of the series. And now a round table on top of the hill. That's when you like to have Robinson Cano at second base. Bases juice, 3-2, stays full.
His best fastball so far, 96 miles an hour at the top of the strike zone. See what Brandon Moss has done with a full count this year. He has 30 walks and 86 plate appearances. Take a look at this last pitch. Again, his best fastball at 96. He's late on it. Again, all three base runner reaching for the walk. What a changeup.
Strike 3 called.
That's a big time pitch. A changeup. Takes a lot of courage to throw that pitch in that situation, but it's a changeup right at the top of the strike zone, and he gets the called third strike. Take another look at it. There you can see the circle change grip. Great look from our McDonald Supermo. I'm not sure how many guys in this league would have the courage to throw that pitch in that situation, and it completely locks up Moss. What a pitch.
Now facing Lowry.
Well, Fernando loose now. That fastball at 97 miles an hour.
Not many at-bats for Lowry against Rodney. Fernando not quite out of the woods yet. A step closer, though. 2-0. His 10th inning has been a minefield for Rodney. Trying to bob and weave and tiptoe his way through. He's an out away. Bases full. 2-0. 3-0.
Well, Lowry will certainly be taking all the way, and you can see 28 pitches in the inning, just 9 strikes for Rodney.
Crisp, the go-ahead run at third. Donaldson at second. Callasco at first. They've all walked. And it's outside for ball 4, and the A's have taken the lead.
I think Zunino thought it was a strike, too. Both of them a little bit surprised that was called ball 4. Lowry didn't move from home plate. He thought it was a strike. Oh, boy. Take another look at it. Fastball right around the outside corner. Zunino trying to help Rodney out. 4 walks in the inning.
1 intentional to Donaldson. Crisp scores. Donaldson to third. Callasco to first. And the first pitch missing to Reddick. A's have taken the lead.
And with that run scoring, Abad sits down in the pen, and it will be Doolittle who's still throwing. Closer for the A's.
More the same, 2-0. Now Doolittle's not a guy you want to face, really ever. Has had so much success this year against the Mariners. One of the toughest lefties. And he's starting to warm up. Now Rodney just trying to keep this one close. Hard hit. Taylor snags it. What a big time play there by Chris Taylor. Keeps this game within reach for the Mariners. As the A's leave him loaded. But 4 walks brings in a run. They go to the bottom of the 10th. Mariners trying to come from behind. Mariners now. And Luna Family Hearing and the Seattle Mariners have teamed up to give a tip of our cap to our fans over 60 and older. When you show a valid ID, you'll receive 10% off select main, terrace, and view level seats to any Mariners home game. For details on how you can take advantage of the senior special, log on to mariners.com/specials. Mariners down to their final 3 outs tonight, and they'll have to face the A's closer just fresh off the disabled Sean Doolittle.
20 saves and 23 opportunities for Doolittle. 80 strikeouts, only 5 walks on the year, and 55 in a third. Opponent's hitting 171. He has given up 4 home runs this year. A good fastball, and he will throw a lot of fastballs in the low to mid 90s for Doolittle. Also mix in a changeup and occasional slider.
Doolittle, an all-star this year. For his career, has faced the Mariners 22 times. He has held the Mariners without a run in 20 of those 22 outings. This year against the Mariners, 7 previous appearances, 11 strikeouts over 9 1/3 innings.
We'll see how Lloyd wants to play this one. Seager will lead things off. He certainly is going to hit in this situation. Then you have Morrison, the lefty. See if he wants to run Logan up there. Logan has been a hot hitter for him, and you can see what Kyle has done against Doolittle, just 1 for 12. And then Zunino after that. Plenty of options on the bench for Lloyd McClendon.
Fly ball not nearly deep enough. Crisp gives way to Fold. 1 pitch, 1 out. Mariners down to their final 2.
And Logan Morrison being called back to the dugout. Will be Corey Hart. In that series in Oakland for the Mariners, we talked about it with Lester on the mound. It was Corey Hart who hit the home run in the Mariners lead.
That was a big time at bat for Hart.
There's a couple things that you would think this would be a good matchup for Corey. One, Doolittle throws a lot of fastballs. Corey likes the fastball. And that first fastball was up in the zone to Kyle Seager. Only 3 at bats against Doolittle for Corey. Corey likes the high fastball.
For Hart, his first time in the batter's box since the 7th when he DH'd in Texas.
Zunino waiting on deck.
1-0. 1-1. Doolittle sidelined for a while with a rib injury. The biggest piece in that A's bullpen. Hard fly ball right field, but way foul. And Doolittle ahead now 1-2.
That was a good pitch for Corey Hart to handle. Fastball in the middle of the plate and at the top of the strike zone. A little bit late on it, 93 miles an hour.
Doolittle tops among American League relievers in opponents on base percentage. Beneath 200, tops in whip. And barely anything. A ton of strikeouts this year for Doolittle. As Mike was talking about, one of the best walk to strikeout ratios in history. 2-2, strike 3. Mariners down to their final hope.
He just went right at him with a good fastball. Outside corner at 93 miles an hour.
It's up to Mike Zunino. Off the top of the net for strike 1. Zunino hitless tonight. 20 home runs on the season. He can let Doolittle supply plenty of the power. Oh, 1.
Couple of good fastballs for Mike.
Mariners down to their final strike. A's trying to even up this series after the Mariners won last night. Here it comes, the 0-2. High fly ball, left field, but Fuld able to track it there. And this one is in the books. The A's able to win this one with an erratic 10th inning. Rodney with 4 walks, 1 intentional. Doolittle is on to wipe things up in the 10th. And Mike, this is a tough one when Felix goes 7 innings, does his usual against the A's.
Well, I think Felix and Sonny Gray were both great in this ball game. We thought that would be the case. I take my chances with the Mariners bullpen anytime. It did not work out for the Mariners, but the good news, they still have a chance to make it around. They have to come back and win the series tomorrow with Chris Young, who has pitched extremely well here at Safeco.
Mariners fall tonight in extra innings, and that'll do it for us. Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines begins right now. We kick things over to Brad and Dave. Guys, take it away.
All right, Aaron and Mike, thank you very much. So the Mariners now 3-7 in extra innings. And Dave, you were telling me when Fernando Rodney was having the problems in the 9th inning, he walked 4, walked in the winning run. When you're not around the plate, you're not going to get the close calls. He did not get it to Jed Lowry.
Yeah, he was really struggling with command of all of his pitches, the fastball and that changeup. And that one pitch to Jed Lowry was very close. Now, if you're around the zone and you're throwing strikes, you probably get that one. But the way he was throwing, he was off. And all of a sudden, you throw one that's kind of marginal. You're just not going to get the pitch, and that's what ended up happening for Rodney.
Ball 4, that was it. And the A's walk home with the winning run. 3-2 the final, so the A's get to celebrate. We'll talk about tomorrow the rubber game inside the clubhouse, get reaction, get the keys, talk to the skipper, all coming up on the post game presented by Delta Airlines.